one day closer to Christmas. I know all the kids who are getting up for the bus stop or to head to school, they're excited, right? Is that what you did? Did you keep like an advent calendar for all the wrong reasons?
Oh, we would, and then I hope I'm not writing any of my comrades out, but we would definitely have a teacher's calendar of days where you pull the day down. The big debate would be whether or not the day counted started. Do you take the number down at the beginning of the day, or do you wait till the end of the day to take the number down? So that was always the big conversation.
Oh,
I was of the belief that once we made it to school that day, take the number off.
when you
How
made it to school.
well, as soon as you make it, take the number off. However, the nature of school, making it there, never lets you know what could happen throughout the rest of the day. So, so there was an argument for waiting till the final bell rings and then you remove the day.
That makes sense.
So I could see it both ways, but yes, there was always a calendar around this time. I believe the teachers are probably coming down into that single digit category, maybe like 9 or 8. So, yes.
Well, for the kids, it's one day closer. For many
Mhm.
of you, so for the kids, it's definitely one day closer. What probably, I'm guessing next Friday is the last day for schools around here. So I don't know. Maybe all the kids are definitely ready for Christmas break. I would imagine that the parents maybe not so much because you got 2 weeks of trying to figure out what you're going to do with the kids. But here we are, Tuesday morning. The three of us are here. We didn't get in the transfer portal. That was good. Good for us. We're all back. We're all standing upright, unlike Trevor Lawrence last night. Preston, don't know if you got into that at all. Trevor Lawrence.
I did see that live. Actually, I did. I was watching the game live, flipped away for some reason, and then all of a sudden, Bethard was in the game. I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
I didn't know what happened. So I eventually saw the highlight.
How do you feel as a football player knowing that when you see injuries, even if it's just a sprained ankle, but when you see stuff rolled up on, especially on television, where you can have a better view of it and see what happens as opposed to being in the crowd? How does that affect a football player? I don't know what, and I don't want to know as a player the worst injury you ever saw, but I don't know how that affects you personally.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's nasty. You saw it, and I mean, if you see it on the field, it's always, not to get very grueling here at 6:00 in the morning, but
Yeah, please don't.
sometimes you might hear it, you might see it. Yeah, it's always like, ugh, that's you obviously recognize it's part of the game. When I saw Trevor, I didn't see it live, so I didn't know what was happening, and they were sort of talking about it. And this may be the psycho part of being a former football player. When I saw that it was rolled up, when I saw that it looked like it reminded me of a basketball injury where you
Yes.
sort of step on
And
somebody's
I've seen
foot.
those, and I've done that.
That's pretty nasty, but I also was like, okay, it wasn't a contact injury. For some reason, my psycho mind felt like, okay, he should be all right here shortly. It might be a severely high ankle sprain, which we know has the potential to take him out for a couple times, but it wasn't as bad as I assumed it was. So I don't know. I don't know whether that's my convoluted football mind that goes to that, but it did remind me of like a basketball injury.
I've never asked you this, and I've never thought about it until I just asked you now about injuries. Where were you, and what did you hear as a football player when Corey Boyd hit the player for Virginia? Because you were playing, I think that was 2004. That was 3, 4.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
03.
03. Where were you? Did you see it? Like, did you just hear it?
Yeah, I heard it. Heard it. It wasn't even mic'd up. You heard it. I believe I saw it from the sidelines. And again, it was a different mindset. I was like, ooh, got him. And I can't say that I was taking a knee or, kneeling down or anything like that. I was unfortunately cheering.
Like you saw it. But then as a player, do you realize the severity of the situation, or is it a little out of grasp at the moment because of what?
Well, I guess maybe as a player, especially I wasn't on the field at the time, you don't have the benefit of having the cameras seeing the situation. So it was on the far sideline. You assume that it's bad, but it's like you see people gathering around, and fortunately that's part of the game. I cannot say that I felt anything.
803-404-6100.
Thank you for revealing me as a psychopath.
Yeah, all right.
Morning.
Yeah,
a
little crazier than I expected this morning to start, but that's where we are. We mentioned it last night. You get the Bengals winning 34-31 over the Jags. Bengals were a 10-point underdog. Over under in that game, by the way, was 40. Vegas did not get this one right. Bengals were a 10-point underdog, and over-under was 40. So for all you, boy, that Vegas is crazy. And always, look at what they always know. Nope, not last night. That was some news. Other news yesterday. Who you got? Who you going with? Heisman finalist, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., or this felt like they had to throw a fourth in there, so they just went Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, and it felt like he was a throw-in, but Maserati Marv, as they've been referring to him throughout the year, seems like he might have the most name recognition out of everybody's. But I don't know. This is a conversation that's not for today, but it is going to be having later on the week. The luster of the Heisman. I know that's conversation that's been done.
It's a good point.
But when I saw these names come out, I gave a big shrug, like, okay, I guess. So I'm gonna have to look over this to see who I have. But my first inclination is I do remember Jaden Daniels running up and down the field a lot.
Does it hurt him that he didn't play in a championship? Because I can agree with you, but I kind of lean toward after Michael Penix Jr. getting his team to the college football playoff. And clearly, let's just be clear about this. The Heisman Trophy winner is not even going to New York because according to everybody else, according to the College Football Playoff Committee, the Heisman Trophy winner is really simple. Simple. It's Jordan Travis. If you mean that much to your team, isn't that the definition of the Heisman Trophy?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what the definition of the Heisman Trophy is. Is it the best player? Is it the player that helped? Is it the MVP? Is it just a guy that we become emotionally attached to? I don't know. But none of these guys feel, and again, this may be just me being older. This may be the college football landscape changing. Also, another one of my old school college football words just came to mind.
Okay.
West Coast bias.
I think it's East Coast bias, isn't it? Is there?
Oh, yeah. East Coast bias. West Coast. We have some bias against the West Coast because we don't get a chance to see them much. So maybe that's why I'm not considering Michael Penix. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. But overall, I heard the list and I gave kind of a shoulder shrug.
Okay. I'm with you. I don't know. And you're right. We'll have that conversation maybe closer to the end of the week. Yeah. What does the Heisman Trophy mean anymore? It's a good question. I'm with you on that. I can't even tell you that I will. Maybe depending on the cooking situation. This is sad. This is how sad it is. Depending on the cooking situation will determine whether the Heisman Trophy ceremony presentation is on television at the Gunner household come Saturday night. 803-404-6100 is how we can weigh in this morning. You can always download our app. Go to your app store on your smartphone. Type in 107.5 The Game, find our app, and download that so that you can take us anywhere that you go, even if it's outside of your radio listening range. Also, you can go, as always, to the live stream. Go to youtube.com, search 107.5 The Game. Anthony, Bryce, RL, Jerry, and DC up this morning. RL, a day ahead. He says, game day for the Quarter Zips against the team from the upstate. That's tomorrow. So I feel bad having to inform RL that because I'm kind of excited about that game as well. I'd hate to learn it. 6:09. Maybe that's what he was geared for tonight. Maybe he had plans, and now you find out, I got to wait one more day. So
at least he learned early.
Yes, yeah. Didn't make plans early on, but no, that'll be tomorrow night. South Carolina and Clemson up at Little John Coliseum. I don't know. Are you familiar just from football and everything with Tim Bourret?
No, I am not.
The former Clemson SID, very similar to Tom Price, in that. Tom Price, former Gamecock legendary SID, knew everything. All well says, no, time to go back to bed. He was up early. But Tom Price knew every stat out there. Well, how about this one for South Carolina and Clemson that Tim Bourret put out the other day as it pertains to the Gamecocks and the Tigers? This will be the first ever meeting between the two teams as both undefeated. Now, follow me. There's kind of like that little, like that little caveat there always. First ever meeting, both teams are undefeated with both teams having played at least 3 games.
Ooh.
Is that, do you follow me on that? Like,
so did they meet like very early in the season?
Well, like last year was the second game for the second game for them each last year. But yeah, Tim Bourret, the former sports information, I think he's the former sports information director for Clemson, still putting out stats up there and putting out a really good one. Be the first time ever. That's pretty cool for these two teams. I'm excited about tomorrow night's game between the Gamecocks and the Tigers. 8 o'clock tip. I probably would prefer the 7 o'clock tip just from an old man perspective, but 8 o'clock is fine with me. It's not those 9:30 or 11:30 tips we've seen the Gamecocks have so far this year, Preston. And that's something I think that in kind of a dull time, I guess you would say, for Gamecock and Tiger fans, no bowl game, having to monitor the transfer portal, should be a fun event tomorrow night. By the way, Clemson, AP Top 25, they're in. Number 24, South Carolina, picking up 9 votes yesterday in the AP Top 25. So at least some consideration for South Carolina and Clemson moving into the AP Top 25.
This is the first one that they released based on the season?
No, there's been a couple that
Okay,
just finally
I got you.
slide in.
I got you.
And Clemson number 20, by the way, in the coaches poll. So I always go with the AP Top 25 because I feel like they're paying more attention than the coaches.
Yeah, and this is not the show or the breakdown. You might have to go to Clemson Talk 1075, wherever that is. But I'm just really interested in the situation with Clemson basketball and Brad Brownell. Like, where are they? Are they good with it? Are they tired of it? Is it what? That always made me curious because they seem like they're, I don't know if underachieving is the word. They just kind of just float around.
Look, I mean, I think it depends on the offseason for Clemson, like the offseason for Clemson football.
Yeah, because that's a good point.
How invested they are, like in what's going on.
This year, I'm assuming a lot of Clemson fans are paying attention to basketball right now because normally they'll have like national championship hopes, college football playoffs. So they're just like, hey, Brad, y'all do y'all thing.
I will admit, I'm a big Brad Brownell fan. My time doing recruiting and having to go to these AU tournaments, I got to know Brad extremely well, and I think he's awesome. I mean, there's not many coaches. I'm a huge Brad Brownell fan. I think he's really, really cool. He would joke with me. There was people, I've told the story out publicly before, but he actually had a really cool Clemson quarter zip on. This is years ago. It's like 2010, 2011. Had a really cool Clemson quarter zip. I was like, man, I kind of want you to get me one of those. Man, Frank Martin would put you at the bottom of the lake if he ever saw you wear Clemson gear, and I laughed about that. So will not be a fan tomorrow night, but I am a big Brad Brownell fan. 803-404-6100. It's Tuesday. You know what that means? Oh, we've never had a bigger transfer portal Tuesday than we're about to have right now. I don't know if the transfer portal can hold it.
I'm not saying that we had the foresight to know this, but when we coined the term Transfer Portal Tuesday, we didn't know that the transfer portal was actually opening on a Tuesday. We didn't know. We want to stake our claim in the ground that we have been here on Transfer Portal Tuesday.
Yeah.
We've been here. This is our day.
We trademarked it, I think.
Maybe.
I got the paperwork in.
There we go. Thank you.
If not, we definitely should have. 803-404-6100. Preston gives us a special edition of Transfer Portal Tuesday when we return. See you early game.
Gamecocks quarterback Lenora Sellers will hop on the Garnet Trust Hour Tuesday at 10 a.m. on The Game in Columbia, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
107.5 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Plus, text title with approved credit card 66243-4623 for details.
It's the most wonderful buy of the year.
You'll be singing about savings during the sale of the year at JT's Dodgeland and JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. 12,000 off new Jeeps. Your stocking will be stuffed when you save $12,000 on new Rams. Chargers and Challengers 6,000 off. Get 2.9% for 72 months. And if you've got coal in your credit stocking, come see JT. JT'sCars.com. Wrap up the year sales event.
Pete Elwine Pool and Spa is your hometown hot tub dealer where sales and service go hand in hand. If you've been thinking about buying a hot tub, come check out our full line of hot tubs and explore the benefits of hydrotherapy, which includes stress relief and increased blood flow and promotes overall health and well-being. Models start as low as $5,000. Pete Elwine Pool and Spa, 5541 Sunset Boulevard. You'll find us on Facebook or online at PeteLWinePools.com.
Hey, y'all. Jay Phillips here from my good friends at Dan's Fan City in Harbison. Ceiling fans don't sound like something you think about a lot because you don't really need to, but when you've got good ones, they work so well, keeping energy costs down and your comfort level up. All kinds of fans at Dan's Fan City, big to small and quiet, quality fans. They have accessories and light kits, fan blades, and more. Stop by and see them soon. Harbison Boulevard next to Total Wine, or call Dan's Fan City, 781-FANS. You'll be glad you did.
Trucks, we want trucks. New Silverados are on the ground now, and more are on the way to Herndon Chevrolet. We're taking up to $15,000 off to get you in your new truck. Stop by your hometown Chevy dealer and shop all your favorite models at prices you'll love. Find new roads at Herndon Chevrolet or visit us online at HerndonChevy.com today.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile.
Get your home insanely clean with Zerust Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Call now to get 3 rooms cleaned for only $129. And when you mention me, Bill Gunner at 107.5 The Game, you can get your hallway cleaned for free. Easily schedule online at ZerustColumbia.com.
Don't fumble with your HVAC or plumbing. Call the expert professionals at Cool Care Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Refrigeration to take an official review of your air conditioning, heating, and plumbing needs. They also offer duct sealing with AeroSeal, water heater installation and repair, whole home generators, gas log installation and repair, energy audits, indoor air quality inspections, HVAC and plumbing preventative maintenance plans, dryer vent cleaning, and more. Check them out at CoolCareHVAC.com.
Scott here from Traditions Fine Jewelers, announcing a special diamond event that you're not going to want to miss. We're celebrating the fact that we now have our own growing chamber in the largest lab-growing diamond laboratory in the world by having a Labaganza event this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, December 7th, 8th, and 9th. We'll have beautiful loose diamonds up to 12 carats. That's right, 6-carat pairs, 7-carat rounds, 8-carat ovals, even amazing 12-carat emerald cut. We'll have diamond studs up to 8-carat total weight, and diamond tennis bracelets and necklaces up to 10-carat total weight. Best of all, we'll have diamond jewelry to suit every budget, with prices starting at just $199, and everything will be value priced with spectacular savings. We'll even have interest-free financing for qualified buyers. So come see us this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, get her the Christmas gift she deserves, and save big at the Tradition Labaganza event, only at Traditions Fine Jewelers in Lexington on Sunset and Sandhills next to the fountain, where the Midlands get engaged.
The Game on Demand podcast menu.
Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner. 107.5 The Game, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach, 100.5 The Game in Florence.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic
Is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
And starting out your Monday morning, things moving along fairly well. Just a disabled vehicle from an earlier accident, I-26 westbound at Columbia Avenue. So aside from that, traffic moving along nicely this morning. So we'll take that for a Tuesday. And we're looking for a high today of 64. The overnight low going to get a little chillier, 39. Tomorrow, 57 for the high. And then the overnight low of 30. So a couple chilly mornings ahead for us. Same kind of goes for Thursday morning as well. By Friday, 63 for the high. And going into the weekend, might see some showers on Sunday. But right now, it's a nice start to your morning. It's 42 on the early game.
The Early Game with Bill Gunter.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
And Jen Jensen, your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
$6:20 on a Tuesday morning. A transfer portal Tuesday morning.
Bill, it's not just a Tuesday. It's not even just a transfer portal Tuesday. It is Portal Day Tuesday, the day. We've been having transfer portal Tuesday for months now, but this is the day that you can enter.
Well, you could enter yesterday.
But you're here.
Now you're here, yeah.
So it's officially
this
transfer portal Tuesday.
Yeah, you're allowed. You're allowed to officially be in. And let's start with this as you break it down. Daryl, because I'm going to let you just get into all of it. I don't know what direction you want to go. You've got past players you can point out. You got current players you can point out. You got other players you can point out.
There's a lot going on.
Daryl says, I just read an article yesterday on all the quarterbacks going into the transfer portal. How is it possible, for example, that James Madison's quarterback to be transferring to his fourth school? Does academic transfer credits even matter anymore? Seems like it's musical chairs at the quarterback position. And how does this impact recruiting high school quarterbacks? I asked this yesterday, and I forgot to follow up because that's what I tend to do.
Very fair question.
JT Daniels, how many years of college? Let's play a little game. How many years of college?
I'm gonna start baseline 6. If I set the over under at 6, would I be on it?
You're dead on.
Okay.
How many colleges? Name those colleges.
USC, Georgia, Rice. I'm missing one, maybe 4.
He's covered
West Virginia.
There you go. 4.
USC, Georgia, Rice, West Virginia, 4 and 6.
We don't consider West Virginia the Northeast, right? It's just not high enough. It's up there.
No.
Nah.
But give JT Daniels credit for hitting the majority of America and seeing America on the college dime. He saw a little bit of LA, hung out in LA for a little bit, got some California love. Came and saw what Southeastern football is all about. Came down and saw the South, Deep South.
A little mid-Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mid-Atlantic. I went and checked out the mining area, the hills of
Appalachia.
Yep, good for him. Went and checked that out in West Virginia, and then went and checked out a little Texas barbecue and everything.
He finished he finished with the smart people. He's like, you know what, this football stuff is fine, but I'm going to Rice where all the rest of the smart people. I'm gonna go get a nice cushy job because
it's good.
It's smart. It's not a bad strategy.
He checked out all of the country. Got to give him credit. So transfer portal Tuesday, Preston Thorne.
Yeah, it's here, man. So let's just do this really quickly. Let's just go through the basics of transfer portal, just so everybody's clear on what we're talking about and what we're going to. So the transfer portal opened in 2018. So we've been here for 5 years now. You've seen a marked increase in the amount of players that have entered the transfer portal. Now, here's what we need to understand about the players that are entering the portal. Influx happens pretty much on day one. It's not like, so as of right now, there are over 8,000 players that are into the portal right now. But it's because everybody rushes to do it on day one. It's not as if it's going to be 1,000 a day moving forward. So the influx is first day. The news will get slower as time goes on. More than likely, we've seen a majority of the major blockbuster events. We saw, McCord from Ohio State. We saw Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma. We'll talk about some of those facts. Going back to the ideas of the quarterbacks going crazy. We've seen that, but that was the first time that we've had that. With the transfer portal, it opens today. It ends on January 2nd. This edition of the transfer portal.
Right.
Okay. So they have about 30-ish days to be in the portal. The only issue with the portal is this. The dead period starts on December 18th. And so really, while leave it up to the NCAA to inflict pain on everybody, there is a 30-day window where players can enter the portal. However, after December 18th, the amount of legal, I'm doing air quotes here, legal contact that schools can make with the players is limited because it's supposed to be a dead period. So essentially what we have is a 2-week sprint between today and December 18th for folks to get in the portal, figure out what they're doing, and have things open. So a new phenomenon has occurred, Bill. It's the re-offer.
Right. Yeah.
So you get an offer out of high school, which is cool. Then some players choose to enter the portal. And what I've recently picked up on social media is the phenomenon of the re-offer. And you get to say that you're blessed to receive an offer from. You get to do all of those things again. And so it's like a whole new recruitment process.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just that you just gave me PTSD or whatever to try and think back to my recruiting days when there was no portal. And there really wasn't 10, 12 years ago. It's 2003. So back in 2010, 2009, when I was really fully immersed, staying up till 2 a.m., carrying on 23 text conversations with different recruits, knowing what schools they talked to that night, what visits they were lining up, where they may be going, all that. You get the point. Not back then, I thought it was fun. 14 years later, I'm like, boy, what was I doing to myself? Following kids on Twitter, trying to decipher tweets. There was one particular basketball player who all he tweeted about was SpongeBob. And there were multiple, when he made a commitment, there were multiple coaches that joined a group text message that were basically thrilled this kid had ended the recruitment so they could unfollow him on Twitter. It was an in-state kid as well, basketball prospect. I'm with you.
I could just see some of the old coaches going to the kids like, what does this mean? Does this mean something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Under the sea, he lives in a rock. Is that like, is he talking about a school or something?
I would get text messages late at night from coaches being like, what does it mean? I was like, it means he likes SpongeBob. He's probably watching it. I go back to bed. But yeah, these kids, look, it's trickling down. We've had this discussion even into the high school ranks.
No doubt.
Where kids are doing that. I think yesterday we talked a little bit about it. What's the proper word? I want to go but putting out the thank you letter to your university. I appreciate all of you. We're always brothers. We always will be brothers. Thank you to all the fans. Thank you to my coaches.
There you go.
We're best friends. We'll always be best friends.
And hit the final phrase.
But with all that being said,
there you go.
I'm going to the transfer portal. It's taken on a dumb life of its own. I get it. And maybe this is the show. Maybe this is the segment that we block and we say, here's the moment, 6:27 on December 5th, 2023, when Bill turned old.
We're just gonna bring some clouds in the studio so Bill can shake his fist at the clouds. Just shaking his fist.
This is the moment. I'll be honest. Yesterday, I was on my phone way too much.
Yeah, it's a lot going on.
Trying to see of any big names that were jumping in. Preston, obviously, the two that kind of stood out instantly was as we were on the show, Kyle McCord. I mean, this is unheard of, right? This is unheard of for a quarterback to go 11-1 at Ohio State and enter the transfer portal. That is, I don't know, one of the 3, 4, 5 at max top quarterback jobs in the country.
Like, what is he thinking is going to be more golden than that?
It's a good question.
I mean, look, there's, all I'm going to say is maybe he doesn't like his teammates. Maybe he does. I was going to say maybe he needs to be closer to home, but he's pretty doggone close to home from Pennsylvania. I don't know. I don't know. Like, does he not get along with Ryan Day? Does he?
Was that that was a little bit of? Did you say Lion Day? Huh?
I didn't mean to, but you could go that path if that's what you would like to do. I mean, he's from Philadelphia. I mean, if he transfers back to Penn State,
he's
going 1 minute.
Villanova.
Maybe that's what we need to do. That needs to be a segment, is where we're projecting where people are going, and to start rumors
based on very random assumptions.
Well, did you see about Tyler Buckner yesterday?
I did, which was an interesting story.
We'll get into that one a little bit. We'll get into a little bit of Transfer Portal Tuesday. He totally different type of Transfer Portal Tuesday.
He entered into the different path of the portal
for the former Notre Dame and Alabama quarterback. You're listening to Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner, Sheehan Jensen. It's the early game.
Be listening to the game for your chance to win a family 4-pack to go see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra at Colonial Life Arena Friday, December 8th. You can purchase tickets by going to livenation.com.
Every great meal starts with a quick trip to a store. But the thing is, you can't go to just any store. You have to go to a great meat market, a butcher shop, somewhere who knows you, somewhere who knows your name from the time you walk in. And that's exactly what the great folks at Old Timey Meat Market are all about. Go visit one of their 3 locations, Irmo, South Congaree, or Lexington, and find out about the great selection of meats for an incredible price. I tell you what, the Derrick family has run Old Timey Meat Market, and they make sure not only are you getting the absolute best price, but you're getting the absolute best selection of pork, of steak, of beef, of fish if that's what you want. And you always hear me talk about it. They're not all about meats as well. You can find a great Traeger grill, or you can find some snacks. I always prefer the chicken salad, put in a little Tostitos chip and hot sauce, and I'm perfectly happy every afternoon. Whatever it is your needs are, Old Timey Meat Market has it taken care of. Go visit Old Timey Meat Market today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Introducing Chumba Casino, the thrilling online social casino that's free to play. Head on over to ChumbaCasino.com now to join in on the fun. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Plus tax title with group credit card 662434623 for details.
It's the most wonderful buy of the year.
You'll be singing about savings during the sale of the year at JT's Dodgeland and JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. 12,000 off new Jeeps. Your stocking will be stuffed when you save 12 grand on new Rams. Chargers and Challengers 6,000 off. Get 2.9% for 72 months. And if you've got coal in your credit stocking, come see JT. JT'sCars.com. Wrap up the year sales event.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, this is Lisa Hostetler-Brown. Do you know the difference between a revocable trust and an irrevocable trust? The difference could easily save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in long-term care costs. Visit lawyerlisa.com to schedule a consultation today.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Honey, you need a trust.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Give the gift of glow at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. Buy a spa package, get a free massage or facial gift card. Visit any one of their Columbia area Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa locations or handandstone.com to view their exclusive online offers and find the spa nearest to you. Restrictions apply. See spa for more details.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet, where saving is always the name of the game. The lowest price, guaranteed, or they'll pay you $1,000. South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads.
Hey, Gamecock, Scott here with Gamecock Traditions. Hats, and more hats are now available in-store and online. Dozens of Under Armour styles, including the American flag Block C, are now in stock. Check out the new Hat Flow hats with the Gamecock leather patches. Shop Legacy, The Game, Zephyr, New Era, and Richardson brands. If you're looking for a new lid, Gamecock Traditions is the place to go. 5134 Sunset Boulevard or at the Village at Sandhills. Or shop GamecockTraditions.com. Gamecock Traditions, covering you from head to toe.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
And let's see, out there we do have a report of an accident, Congaree Road at Air Base Road. So that just being reported again, Congaree Road at Air Base Road. And as far as your forecast is concerned, 64 will be our high today under some sunny skies. 39 will be that overnight low, though, and then a little bit cooler tomorrow and breezy. 57 for the high, and that overnight low gets a little bit chillier yet. 30 going into Thursday morning, and then sunny and 57 on Thursday. Friday, 63 with some cloudy conditions. But right now, pretty nice overall. It is 42 on the early game. I'm going to put it on a high key.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
On your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
It's portal day.
That, our friends, was the esteemed showman, always selling, always recruiting. That was Deion Sanders from the Dan Le Batard show yesterday, proclaiming after he went on a soliloquy. I think we might have the whole clip. Maybe we play the whole clip, but I think we're going to use this. Let's hear this. Let's hear the whole clip where Deion was talking about his season, but then he got to the realization of what yesterday and today was. Let's hear that clip, Jen.
I'm a winner. So that's tough with losing games. Not only losing games, we got our butts kicked twice. Now, the rest of the games, we were in it within 6 to 7 to 8 points of victory that we were right there. You talk about a team that won one game prior that was in it for 10 games that could have possibly won, but we didn't know how to win. We didn't have those 8 to 10 players that we need to get us over the hump. But guess what today is? It's portal day.
He loves it.
It's portal day. Guess where I am? In the portal. The portal. I am in the portal like yeah, I'm not hard to find.
Oh boy.
I'm sure y'all were looking, my live stream folks, everybody on camera. I'm glad everybody was looking at our esteemed old man's face as he was listening to Deion.
I mean, my first question is going to be, does any player at Colorado do math? Because one addition means one subtraction. There's a hard number of 85, buddy.
Your coach specifically said I'm in the portal looking for linemen.
One addition equals one subtraction. And if an offensive lineman comes in, you better start looking around the room very quickly going, who's on their way out?
Is it you? Is it me? What's going on here, coach?
And like you just said, like you pointed out in the last segment, your time is limited.
Very short time. The window of time, again, if you weren't with us last segment, the portal opened yesterday. It's supposed to run through January 2nd of the new year. However, the dead period starts on December 18th. So you have about 2 weeks here to get your business done.
Deion also playing fast and loose with the term. We were in it, by the way. Scoring a lot of points at the very end of a ball game to get within 7 is not we were in it.
Well, Deion going to the Dabo Sweeney School of Mathematics and Calculations, if Dabo and them boys can be 4 games out of a national championship, then
that's true. He's following. I like that.
Deion could be in it.
He's following our lead because we're really.
We were close too.
We said 2 plays. We're 2 plays away from a 7-6 victory over
almost
Clemson.
Beat Clemson.
Totally understand. Totally bowl eligible. Just 2 plays. Change 2 plays, and that's all it takes.
So Jen, amongst any time when we're having this conversation, you can gladly hit the sounder of. You can gladly hit the sounder as Deion stands. You can gladly hit this anytime, or even if you just want. If you want to just wrap it up, we can wrap it up with that too.
It's portal day.
Again, if I'm in Colorado, I'd be like checking my lease, like on my student housing. Like, how does this work? Like, right now I'm on the phone.
That's another
with housing administration.
That's a very good question. I mean, we're having these conversations. Some of these folks that, for the players that are local, if you've already graduated and the team is not going to a bowl, your time is running very soon. You know, if you were staying in university housing,
I don't know how that works. I mean, you bring it up an interesting.
It's on a well, at least I know how it was. It was on a semester basis, and so once this semester ends, if you are graduated and you have no more football obligations, good luck, Buckaroo.
Bye-bye.
Go find a spot.
What Deion will do is going to be fat because he's going to do he is openly saying it, which I love. He is doing the exact opposite of what every other coach, whether they believe it or not, is saying. Every other coach out there is still saying, no, we have to build a program through high school recruiting. talent development, high school recruiting, having a base, having a foundation. That is how we have to build our program. Can you name right now how many commitments in this recruiting class Colorado has? I'll give everybody a chance out there. Think about it for a second. Come up with a number in your head. How many commitments Colorado has in this recruiting class? All right. Formulate the number. Formulate it. All right. How many are you going with, Preston?
I'm going to set the over-under at 16.
You're not even close.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I guess it depends on what we define as not even close.
Well, are we using Dion's math?
Yes. You're
I'm close.
You're within a touchdown. You were right there at it. He has 9 commitments in this class, one of which, by the way, is a fascinating name because, I don't know, sometime back in like 2015 or 2016, this young man was committed to South Carolina. I'm kind of being a little facetious with, again, I'm playing fast and loose with the numbers. Offensive lineman Isaiah Walker Jr.
That does sound familiar.
Who
I'm not a
I don't know.
guy.
I would love to know how many true snaps Isaiah Walker Jr. has played at the college football level, because as far as I know, he's been committed to South Carolina. I think he went to Miami or Florida. I don't know. And then rotated those two, has gone into Butler Community College. And Isaiah Walker Jr., who was a one-time offensive line commitment to, I believe, Will Muschamp in South Carolina.
Is this the kid from California?
No. This is a young man from South Florida.
Okay.
Was a big-time offensive line commitment, and he's from Miami. He's conveniently bounced around, again, 9 different schools or something. I don't know. He's all over the place. And he is committed to Colorado now. But Dion has 9 commitments. And I say that because Dion is openly saying, I'm building, and as you just heard him yell, and he's...
Jen, what did he yell?
It's portal day.
He's going to build through it. This is going to be a revolve. This is a true revolving door. If you didn't get the job done, and his offensive line stunk this year.
They did.
They were awful. And if you didn't get the job done, I don't know how that works. If you have your scholarship pulled from you, and I don't know if Colorado's offering 4-year deals, but the way it sounded like is last year, Dion showed up and basically was like, all right, you're cut, you're cut, you're cut. You get cut too. You're cut too. You over there in the back, I don't know who you are, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut you.
Is that what happened with his ex-fiance?
I haven't followed that story, but somebody brought that up yesterday afternoon, and
Just saying, did she enter the transfer portal? Like,
I'm not going to go down that. That is the not safe for work theories I have. Let's just keep an eye and make sure Dion doesn't have a motorcycle, because I don't know how motorcycle riding in the Colorado mountains works out.
That could be tricky.
But
it's portal day.
I need to be able to hit this more often.
I mean, the question is going to be like, does this work? Is this how you can run a football program?
It's portal day.
No, the answer is no. It's not going to work. And I'm going to make a bold statement. Dion won't be there very long.
His choice or Colorado's choice?
Well, according to him, it'll be mutual agreement, et cetera, et cetera. But he's trying to build a program for very short term, quick, fast success. Doesn't hinge towards long term. I'm still of the mindset where, yes, because the portal is a thing now, you cannot ignore it and be like Dabo. You cannot ignore it. However, I do feel it's better as a supplementary piece of your team as opposed to building a team wholesale, because you're going to be stuck in a situation again, and it's just not sustainable. I don't think Dion has very many long-term plans for Colorado. I do think he wants to be successful for his own ego and for maybe his own child as a quarterback, but I don't think he has many long-term plans for the future of Colorado. But if everybody at Colorado understands this and this is the deal that they've all made, cool. But that I feel like that's where Dion is trying to get this thing to.
Isaiah Walker Jr. officially committed to Will Muschamp in South Carolina on May 8th of 2018. He's also been committed to Purdue. He's attended school at
about 15,
Florida, and Miami, and now community college and Colorado. I'll get you a little bit more on that when we come back. It's the early game.
Ever been on this date?
You're a good-looking man.
Thank you.
Very pretty. Real soft, delicate features. They're real feminine.
And thought, man, I'd rather be listening to the game right now.
Welcome in to the afternoon show alongside Elijah Campbell. I'm Jay Phillips.
Well, just go to iTunes or Google Play and download the game app. Sure, you may no longer be with that person anymore, but you'll never be without the game again.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Northern Tool. Start solving your projects today at northerntool.com. We're made for this. Just having a week under my belt, said Cincinnati Bengals backup quarterback Jake Browning. In his second career start, the 27-year-old completed 32 of 37 passes for 354 yards and a touchdown. Now he led his team to an upset of Jacksonville. I'm Boomer Esiason.
CBS Sports Radio.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because you know, mulch. We're cutting prices on your favorite brands this holiday season. Save on Milwaukee, Ingersoll Rand, and Metaltech in store or at northerntool.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at gawon'twait.com. That's gawon'twait.com.
Early game.
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game. Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
It's Portal Day.
We are still here though. We did not portal. Now, in the next segment, in the next hour, and I want you to start thinking about this, giving you a little homework. This year in 2023, what did you enter the transfer portal for? I'll go ahead and give you late in the season. I entered the portal kind of switching from bourbon to tequila.
We've heard these developments.
Off air here in the studio. I've kind of brought this up. I I'm dipping the toe in the transfer
and I'm gonna
portal.
tell you that's a big jump because not only like it's one thing to switch your brands of your your liquid refreshment, but you didn't switch brands. You switched to a whole nother category. You want another category. You want another color.
Right.
I was saying another color.
Big jump.
Yeah,
So this is potentially breaking news. Have you made this official yet?
No.
Are you going to be willing to make this official?
It's kind of like free agency.
Well, the
It's
portal's
kind of
closing.
like free agency.
The dead period is coming very soon, so we have during the 7 o'clock hour.
For the dead period, that means you can't drink anything.
No, it just means the reps cannot contact me. They cannot try and
Oh.
influence me one way or the other. All the research is done totally on
Bill
my
has
own.
definitely put "do not contact" in his portal search.
Yeah.
So yes, during the 7 o'clock hour, we will be coming up with things that you have entered the portal on in 2023. It could be maybe a
Streaming
drink,
service.
Could be drink of choice. Maybe it's a streaming service. Hearing a lot of the folks that were dealing with DirecTV over the weekend.
Oh, really?
Bad look. No CBS.
I saw something about that. Was that another carrier dispute similar to
Yes,
ESPN?
something along those lines. Yes, but
The Spectrum had I forgot about Spectrum and ESPN at the beginning of the football
so
season.
a lot of folks earlier in the year were very much threatening to hit the portal on Spectrum.
Maybe
with
a change
ESPN.
in grocery stores.
Maybe a change in grocery stores. That might be where my conversation goes. So wherever you have hit the portal in 2023, we want to hear about it. Obviously, you want to thank everybody. You want to tell everybody what you're grateful for, how much you appreciate them. Then you have to hit the phrase, with that being said, then you enter the portal.
But we will not accept any kind of transfer portal entries for changing a radio station.
That's
Just
right.
saying.
Stay here.
Stay here.
Well, maybe our folks from Myrtle Beach, Florence,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some of them have entered the portal. Maybe we've done some portal shopping ourselves.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
803-404-6100. Let me read a couple of these texts to you here. Stephen from Roanoke, Virginia. Welcome in this morning,
Shout
Stephen.
out.
Glad to have you. Says, everyone I talk to thinks the portal and NIL is ruining a great sport. I hope it doesn't, and I hope we can get to a point where we can just enjoy the games and worry about all this other noise. As a former player, as a person who probably sees this a little bit closer and on a different level than we do, what do you think?
Yeah, it's changing the game for sure. I do think we will. I believe in Greg Sankey. I don't believe in the NCAA. I do think there are some smart people who are very close to the ground who have the best interest of the game in heart, also taking into consideration the players. I do believe we will get to some semblance of an agreement where we can all understand the rules and regulations of this thing. It may not be for a year or two, though.
Jerry weighs in this morning. College football now feels like college basketball with the one and done. Yeah? No? Yes?
There is a similarity of movement to it. Again, I would assume most people are not against the freedom of movement. Everybody understands that concept. People just want some idea of what the rules are, how this is supposed to play out in those types of concepts.
This is actually an interesting question. I'd love to do it outside of Columbia, but Leonard weighs in. Who do you think has a higher likelihood of success as a head coach? Shane Beamer at South Carolina or Deion Sanders at Colorado?
Were you in our group chat?
Leonard, were you in the group chat? Did you sneak into the Preston Thorne group
Did you
chat?
sneak into the old football guys group chat? There was points made on both sides, and I would lean towards Shane for the sustainability because I do think that this is Shane's number one priority. I'm not convinced that that's Deion's number one.
Yeah, you
priority.
wonder what Deion's end game is.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's in his prime right now, and then he'll be moving on.
Well, it feels like more of a hobby. Like
Mhm.
this is like I
I think he's really interested. It's like cool, right? But I think a hobby is a great word. Like once a hobby gets too hard, you're like,
Shiny object.
I feel that's what I think. I don't know.
It's just hard to see Deion putting up with this for 5 or 6 years to build a program. And I don't know, going back to what we just had, if this is sustainable for building a program with the constant roster turnover. John Calipari, you talk about the one and done, has had really great basketball teams. He was brought to Kentucky to win more than one national championship and really, quite honestly, do more, and not just in win one national championship, but do more than he's accomplished. You know, again, in the basketball world, people I still talk to, and I mean, Kentucky fans were ready to run him off last year. What, 90% of basketball fan bases out there would love what he's done? Not at Kentucky. He's been a failure there. And I don't know if Dion, with the way this football is, if it can even get to those kind of heights where he's at. I'd probably lean Shane, although I think maybe going to the Big 12 might help a little.
Yeah.
Might help. We'll find out. We'll talk more about that. What have you entered the transfer portal for this year? Anonymous texter went from Mick Ultra to PBR.
Nice.
Good one. Hour 2 on the way.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Welcome to BreezeLine, where next-level internet speeds mean next-level productivity. Don't let slow internet slow down your game. Kick it up a notch with a game-changing offer of 1 gig fiber fast speeds for only $59.99 per month. Terms and conditions apply. Go to breezeline.com to learn more.
Scott here from Traditions Fine Jewelers, announcing a special diamond event that you're not going to want to miss. We're celebrating the fact that we now have our own growing chamber in the largest lab-growing diamond laboratory in the world by having a Labaganza event this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, December 7th, 8th, and 9th. We'll have beautiful loose diamonds up to 12 carat. That's right, 6 carat pairs, 7 carat rounds, 8 carat ovals, even amazing 12 carat emerald cut. We'll have diamond studs up to 8 carat total weight and diamond tennis bracelets and necklaces up to 10 carat total weight. Best of all, we'll have diamond jewelry to suit every budget with prices starting at just $199, and everything will be value priced with spectacular savings. We'll even have interest-free financing for qualified buyers. So come see us this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Get her the Christmas gift she deserves and save big at the Tradition Labaganza event. Only at Traditions Fine Jewelers in Lexington on Sunset and Sandhills next to the fountain, where the Midlands get engaged.
Let's text and title with proof credit. Call 888-320-6359 for details. Ho, ho, hold everything. Savings clause is coming to JT's Kia. JT will stuff your stock in with savings. Thousands off new Kias. Telluride Sorrento Carnival. Save thousands in interest. Just 0.9%. Dream of a white Christmas, but make no payments till spring. Get 20% more for your trade, up to $6,000. And if you've got coal in your credit stocking, come see JT. JT'sKia.com. Kia season of giving back.
Your attention is precious. Pulled in a million directions for a million different reasons. Blue Cross and Blue Shield Federal Employee Program works hard to make sure your health insurance isn't one of the many things distracting you from what's important. By making healthcare easier to navigate, we help keep your focus on the moments that matter most, like dinner with loved ones, letting you focus on you. That's the benefit of Blue. Learn more at fepblue.org.
At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we know how serious injuries change people's lives. I'm Jason Reynolds. When you're involved in a major car or truck accident, my team is on your side. You don't have to be alone. Let's do this together.
And I'm Steven Samuels. When you're hurt at work, my team is with you from start to finish. We're people with a passion for helping injured workers. Bring your case to us and stop the worry. We've got this.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that moment in time, her life changes forever. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change a lifetime.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
And things actually kind of looking okay out there on the highways right now. We do have a report of an accident, though. Congaree Road at Air Base Road. Hope that gets cleared up soon. And otherwise, no major slowdowns that we can see at this point. Sunny and 64 today, overnight low of 57. The overnight low Wednesday night will be 30, so it'll be a chilly morning on Thursday. And then on Thursday, sunny skies, 57 for the high, but nice start to your morning. It's fair, clear skies, and 41 on the early game.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is USC linebacker Mo Kaba, and you're listening to 107.5, The Game, home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
The early game.
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen.
The nom de plume.
So nice.
I know. He is. Preston is crushing it this morning with
he's showing what 4 years of education can do, and then you're showing what 7 years of
That's
education
right.
can do.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game.
the theme of this show. I don't know what happened.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Reminder is always you can go to our app on your smartphone, download the 107.5 The Game app. If you're traveling, as some of you may be starting to do for the holidays or wrapping up your work year and having to travel and have a few meetings, you can download the 107.5 The Game app and listen to us that way. That way, if you're, again, out of the listening area, you're never far from listening to the great content, such as Transfer Portal Tuesday. Transfer Portal Tuesday.
It's Portal Day.
That was more yesterday. Well, it was. That was Dion yesterday, which it was Portal Day. By the way, that was Dion yesterday,
Yes.
celebrating the fact that he can improve his team.
Maybe.
We're asking you this morning in this hour, how have you improved your life with the transfer portal? What did you portal into this season? Ernest. This is a good one. Ernest going ranch dressing to blue cheese.
Ooh, that is a major development. Major development.
In the wrong direction.
Oh, you saying he went in the right direction?
No, he went in the wrong direction.
Oh, he went in the
Transfer
wrong direction.
portal down.
he went from D1 to Division 2 FBS.
I don't know, man.
That's controversial. That's you get the spirit of.
Oh, just wait till I read you this next one.
You get the spirit of this exercise. I like this.
Ronnie weighs in. If you thought ranch to blue cheese was controversial, how about this one?
By the way, that was Jen. That's not me. That was Jen.
We're gonna name some folk here. There's gonna be some name dropping. Ronnie goes, he transferred portal from Bojangles Chicken to KFC Original Recipe, and then he openly admits Bernie says the best, but too far to drive.
Ooh, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't had KFC Original Recipe in years. So
me neither.
That is a very interesting portal decision. I feel like most people were transport. I feel like KFC was losing players by the masses. You know, they were trying things. They were trying to double down with the double chicken. Y'all remember that
The
crazy
sandwich thing.
They were trying to, that was a weird situation.
Yeah.
The mashed potato bowl. I feel like KFC's been struggling.
Yep.
But maybe they're on their way back.
I can understand John. He says my wallet hit the portal in Cherokee. You gotta be careful up there, buddy. Gotta be careful up there. A couple of y'all, Ernest coming back saying blue cheese is stronger, Jen. Just saying. Controversial there. And then anonymous texter says blue cheese is just ranch that's gone bad. So Ernest getting us off with a strong portal take here.
Strong portal.
There you go. What is yours? What did you portal into? New grocery store this year? New beverage?
It can be something as simple as, you know, I used to use blue ink pen. Now I use black. I don't know. But everybody throughout year, things have changed. So reflect. What have you entered the portal on this year?
Oh, this is a good one. A good one. Anonymous texter. Sometimes send your name in so we know who you are. He says, I would like to.
Well, actually, you know what? And if you come in anonymous, maybe we'll also come up with a name for you, and we'll portal a new name for you.
I've done that to a couple people that annoy me. So yes. We got a full on. We got your this texter is sitting in the full on.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
We've got the breakdown.
You, sir, understand. You, sir, or ma'am, understand the show.
Anonymous texter, I would like to start by saying that my wood smoker and charcoal grill will always be my favorite. I love my brothers, but with wiser days ahead, I have entered the portal and will be signing my new letter of intent with Louisiana Pellet Smokers.
Ooh, big move.
I'm thinking there's some NIL money there.
Did not respect my decision on that one, but
yes, the culture of the smokers might be broken. We need to check into the culture because, as you said, Jen, this might be an NIL situation here.
Could be. So we'll get into that way. And what have you portaled into?
Okay, right here now, Kelly W for the win on the live stream went from Diet Pepsi to Diet Coke. That is a win. Because
Also a very big decision. I'm trying to figure out what happened. You know, did you go to a place where they didn't have your beverage? Maybe you went to a restaurant where you thought it was all Coke products. You tried the Pepsi and you thought it was, but you feel like that's a win.
I do, because I'm one that when I go somewhere, I'm like, are you Coke or Pepsi? If they say Pepsi, I'll have water.
Keep sending them in. We'll get to more of those. Kelly on the live stream going from Diet Pepsi to Diet Coke. So we got that. So a lot of you. I got more coming in. We'll get to more of these here as well. You keep sending them in this morning. What did you portal this year? What transfer portal did you in?
Because Jen, what is today?
It is for no. We don't want anybody to speak.
It's portal day.
What are you portaling? This is a good one. I got a gym one coming up here in a minute. Somebody switching gyms. We'll get to that. 803-404-6100. For those wondering, yesterday for the University of South Carolina, nothing I think was crazy. I'll be honest. I thought that yesterday could be a very dark day for South Carolina based on some intel that was coming in at the end of last week and what was kind of expected. Instead, it looks like South Carolina, at least now, remember, yesterday was just the first day you can enter the portal. There could be discussions going on.
Could be.
There could be moms, dads, aunts, uncles, people with a wanted financial interest that are just waiting on son to come home for a few holidays to have a word. This is not, by no means did yesterday end the transfer portal zaniness, but final count, or at least final count as of Monday for South Carolina, the Gamecocks lose 14 players have entered the transfer portal.
Plus one. 15 is the last count.
But no offense to Mr. 15. I don't know who that was.
This is another thing I'm finding out. I was like, don't see you anywhere on the roster.
Exactly. I don't know if that was like a miss. I didn't know what that was.
I feel you.
So 14 players that we are familiar with, that we knew were on the roster, entered the transfer. I should say 13. 14 would be Xavier McLeod. We already knew he was going into the transfer portal. Obviously, to me, you can make the case if you want to be that person. And I don't think you would necessarily be wrong. The biggest loss was Mitch Jeter, because that does change your offense. That legitimately changes your offense, because when you at least got to the 35-yard line with Mitch Jeter and you had to kick a 50-yard field goal, you felt pretty good about the odds.
Yeah, you don't know how good you have. And we at South Carolina, we've been very, very fortunate to have some extremely talented and skilled field goal place kickers. We don't want to be in a place where largely
no offense. You don't want to be where Clemson was.
Yeah, that's just a fact.
I mean,
that's a fact. We haven't been there. You know, there's the trope about we have a college kicking situation where college kickers miss zanies kicks. We haven't been in that situation in, I don't know, I would say 10 years. I don't know, a long time. We've had great kickers here, so we need to figure that out.
Yeah, and again, I'm not making a joke. I'm not trying to defend, but because, let's be perfectly honest. If it was not for the kicking of Jonathan Weitz, I think it's Weitz or Weiss, but in the South Carolina Clemson game, Clemson doesn't win that game. All of a sudden, we got Sebastian Janikowski kicking for Clemson in game 12, but up until then, he had been hit or miss. And I mean, you're talking about a guy that they had to bring back off of the beach.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite highlights of the season. Everything was setting up for Clemson to win that game in fairy tale fashion. They just got the kicker off the street, comes in, and he shanks the kick. Oh, it was such a great moment in the season for me.
So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, Juice Wells as well. South Carolina does that. The other thing about the portal yesterday, Preston, and I brought this up to you, and I'm trying to get a full list right now. Some of the names you're not going to be familiar with, but they're like 4-star recruits that just didn't get their opportunity. The quarterback transfer portal now, I do wonder, again, if you can't get an elite quarterback, if you can't go out, do you just go to the transfer portal? I mean, you've got former 5-star prospect Dante Moore. I'm throwing this from Dante Moore was committed to UCLA or went to UCLA for his freshman year. He's originally from Detroit, Michigan, 5-star prospect. He's left Chip Kelly. You've got, again, just yesterday, you have Kyle McCord and you've got Dylan Gabriel Gabriel, by the way, going for some kind of wild career. We just talked about JT Daniels from UCF to Oklahoma. Rumors of him transferring to Southern Cal thrown out there yesterday, where they already have Malachi Nelson, a former or a coming in elite prospect as well.
Also, I read reporting where Lincoln Riley was on a jet to Kansas State, looking at with their quarterback. I forget it.
Will Howard,
yes.
I think.
So, yeah, Lincoln Riley's in the portal like everybody else.
But I'm just looking, Brock, we finally get the first domino to fall at Georgia.
You've been sort of shedding light on this, I said, and I've said all the time, quarterback is a unique position because by and large, only one can play. And so they've also been treated very special as special little beings, special little snowflakes their whole lives. And this is the first time majority of them have ever had to sit the bench. And like I said, there's no snaps to go around for quarterbacks. So you will see a lot more of this.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was quite the day. I'll continue to try and keep you updated. Just look, I mean, just a guy from Utah yesterday, Nate Johnson, was a former 4-star quarterback that entered. I mean, there's names. That's why I tell you, there's guys yesterday that entered the port. Destin Wade, 6'3", 207 pounds, out of the state of Tennessee, but was at Kentucky. Again, a very low 4-star prospect who entered the portal. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you've got options out there now. Drew Pine back in the transfer portal. Remember, he was a Notre Dame quarterback that was part of that team yesterday, went to Arizona State and is now back in the portal, former 4-star quarterback. We'll talk more about that because I'm interested to know now, do you just kind of look around like, man, yeah, I'll take a chance on a transfer portal quarterback. South Carolina probably has to go that route. Probably needs to go for depth purposes. Has to go get a transfer portal quarterback. We'll talk about that, and we'll continue to get to this. What did you transfer portal? What did you transfer? What did you enter the portal for this year? Chuck, on our live stream, entered the transfer portal from Bud Light to Kentucky Bourbon.
Oh, that's a big change. It's a big change. Now, Chuck, I'm just going to mind you can't do those numbers. The math doesn't add up. The number of Bud Lights you have cannot equal the number of bourbons you have. It's not going to be the same.
Yeah, don't do that. It's a bad thing. Carolina Mark from Columbia goes officially entering my name in the transfer portal from Sugar Grits to just butter, salt, and pepper.
I think we as the butter delegation will accept you, but we're going to have to talk about why you were in the Sugar Grits conversation to start with.
I mean, I had that name at one time. Remember that?
I think you did, actually.
Yeah.
I think somebody called in and called you Sugar Grits. I do remember that vaguely now.
I put that into the transfer portal so I could get out of that.
Yeah, I forgot about all Sugar Grits over here in the producer studio.
Right.
Forgot totally about that. We probably should have done more with that at the time. 803-404. Keep sending them in. Got a bunch of them, and I'm going to start getting to them in the next segment. Brad says, Brad starts. Brad totally gets the show. We have one of the best kickers in the country coming in. Juice is a much bigger loss, and he entered the portal, leaving Bud Light for cold Coors Light.
Yes. Bud Light did suffer some tragedies this year. I imagine they've
a lot of people probably have entered that into the transfer portal.
I would imagine so.
803-404-6100. As you know, you're listening to Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, and old Sugar Grits over there running the producer studio. It's the early game.
Gamecocks quarterback Lenora Sellers will hop on the Garnet Trust Hour Tuesday at 10 a.m. on The Game in Columbia, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
That was old, O-L-E, Sugar Grits. Old, not old Sugar Grits. Otherwise, she would be hitting me with the Nerf guns right now.
Yep, bringing it back in.
And that's how you end up with people laying around on the carpet. Don't let that happen. Matter of fact, keep the carpets looking fresh, looking new, especially for Christmas time when you never know who's going to stop by and want to have some eggnog and hang out. That's why I use a Zerorez carpet and air duct cleaning. With Zerorez, I know what their patented ZR water technology, scientifically proven to keep the carpets, rugs, tile, upholstery all insanely clean, that I am in good shape. And you can do the same right now. Take advantage of their Christmas sale. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. And when you mention me, Bill Gunner at 107.5 The Game, you can get a hallway clean for free. Book your appointment today, ZerorezColumbia.com, or give them a phone call, 803-262-4020. Again, that's ZerorezColumbia.com. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards, is the right way to clean.
1075 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Plus, text entitled with approved credit card 866-243-4623 for details.
It's the most wonderful buy of the year.
You'll be singing about savings during the sale of the year at JT's Dodgeland and JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. 12,000 off new Jeeps. Your stocking will be stuffed when you save 12 grand on new Rams. Chargers and Challengers, 6,000 off. Get 2.9% for 72 months. And if you've got coal in your credit stocking, come see JT. JT'sCars.com.
Wrap up the year sales event.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? I'm Dr. Mark Bentley with Columbia Secret for Weight Loss, and I know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose unhealthy fat without counting points or calories, no exercising, no prepackaged or boxed meals, no surgery, and no hypnosis, call my office now at 803-824-4210.
Hi, I'm Erica, and if you want to lose weight and fix your metabolism, then this is the program for you. I'm down 30 pounds in 7 weeks. My metabolism is alive again, and I feel great. This system will not let you down.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month. That's a half a pound to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 803-824-4210. That's 803-824-4210 or ColumbiaSecretForWeightLoss.com.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, this is Lisa Hostetler Brown. If you or a loved one are over 65 and haven't completed a long-term care planning consultation, now is the time. Did you know that if you aren't able to afford the high cost of skilled care, your assets can be rapidly depleted to only $2,000 unless you plan 5 years in advance? Visit LawyerLisa.com to see how we can help.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina. WIS-TV First Alert Traffic
Is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
Still working an earlier tie-up Congaree Road at Airbase Road. And really, aside from that, traffic flow is pretty good for your Tuesday morning. So we're good there. And really, your forecast is looking pretty nice as well. 64 for the high today, that overnight low of 39. And then tomorrow, 57. Going to be a little bit breezier, so it's actually going to be a little cooler as well. That overnight low, though, will be 30. And then Thursday, 57 for the high under sunny skies. And again, a cooler morning, 35 for that overnight low. So we'll have a few opportunities to kind of bundle up a bit. Right now, though, it's fair. The sun's coming out, and it's 40 on the early game.
The early game.
With Phil Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Shen Jensen.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game. Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
$803-404-6100. Appreciate all these submissions. I'll get to some of these in just a minute. Reminder, it's what? What did you enter the transfer portal for this season?
We understand some of you may have some who's where you entered the portal, but we're not accepting those applications today.
And by who's, he doesn't mean the who's in Whoville. He means the who's out there in your own town. I would prefer not to know. The less I know about many of you's personal life, even though I'm asking, the better off I personally am. Let's read a couple of these this morning here. Anonymous texter went from Planet Fitness to Fit Body Boot Camp.
Oh, that's a big jump. That's a big jump.
Tony and Gilbert, artificial tree to real tree.
That's a pretty good jump too.
Nice portal. That's very much a decision. A lot of extra maintenance.
This was a popular one. This was anonymous texter going with a popular one. Portaled from tennis to pickleball.
I see this happening a lot.
I think we need a pickleball be part of a pickleball league. I've never played, but I'm so wanting to.
I'm in the same boat. Let's get that done. Maybe when the springtime.
Medical costs are going up.
Come on, Terry.
There's some serious. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah.
Injuries.
Yeah. Well, people think they can just go out there and
given that
do
I get
whatever.
injured in my sleep, I'd prefer to stay away from injuries.
That's true.
So.
Bill has suffered many injuries in his sleep.
Yeah. Gary weighing in, he transfer portaled from an F-150 to an F-250 truck. Good job, Gary.
Wow. That is now. See, I'm thinking there's some NIL money there to do that.
Anonymous texter portaled from Hazelwood Brewing to Angry Fish Brewing.
Okay.
And retained the blue cheese.
Retained. I like it. I like the retain. This is obviously a new factor that we can have to come into. I mean, I don't know if you're a part of the show, but this is a perfect chance to have the conversation about retaining. So this is a new thing that we've discovered, a byproduct of this new era in college football where players are being retained. And so despite what we thought was going to happen, or maybe even some intel conversations that we've had, there has been the Gamecocks are doing a significant job of retaining talent, right? So on the interior,
are you telling me that, or are you asking me that?
I think I'm telling you this.
No, you're not. A, you're questioning yourself, and B, I don't, because you look at the back-to-back years. Look, man, you're not.
No.
Juice Wells is a quality player. Nobody's upset with Juice Wells. You wouldn't be upset with Juice Wells if he was an average player.
You are correct. What I was referring to was, again, maybe this is just my defensive line bias, is all of our defensive linemen, interior-wise, have made it official that they are coming back. We had Tonka Hemingway put up his post about running back. TJ Sanders is apparently signed. Boogie Huntley has also made it. So the interior of the line has made it clear that, and none of them, there wasn't any speculation, but I guess there has to be speculation around everybody. But these three have made it very clear that they're coming back.
And that is big.
And what's really cool is they all have really cool names.
Tonka,
Boogie. I mean, so to me, right there, we've got a winning combination.
Tonka and Boogie, probably the top two interior names in the country.
That could be Boogie and Tonka. Sounds like some NIL stuff right there. Allen weighing in, he entered the transfer portal from Titleist Pro V1 to Callaway Super Soft Chrome, but he likes the yellow one. John Kay being influenced by Lamont Paris, I assume. He's entered the transfer portal from polos to the quarter zips.
Nice.
Good job. Good job, John.
How's that feel? For like Lamont Paris to know that he
is influencing
a
a generation of South Carolina fans. Yeah.
I hope we can get him in studio so that we can ask and we can have the conversation with him.
An
we know he's very
unintentional
busy right now.
influencer.
I'm wondering how he feels about this, because if you remember the conversation that we had previous to him saying that he was wearing the quarter zip, he talked about all the beautiful suits that he had in his closet. And I'm wondering if he started something unintentionally that now he's looking in his closet at all his fine threads and he's like,
so that's what he's wearing to practice now, is the suits.
Yeah,
he can't wear them anywhere
during
else.
the week. Like, who's that man suited up walking down Gervais Street? Like, it's Coach Paris.
I've gone through some of that where I used to wear suits, and I mean, you've seen how I do. Preston and I, even being with Preston, I've even lowered my dress here from Jen. Now we're more of sweats sometimes in the morning. I don't know. Now I'm kind of just looking at like, wait, need more people to get married, or
got to have a reason to wear this thing.
Yeah, I was going to say the other thing why you wear a suit, but I don't want anybody passing away on me. 803-404-6100 real quick. Steven goes Diet Pepsi to Diet Mountain Dew.
It's in the same brand. It's in the same family though.
It's a different, but yeah.
But they are different. You're going from from dark to
Different
so
flavor.
he's obviously Steven's obviously looking for more caffeine because my understanding is the
Sometimes-
Mountain Dew has more caffeine content than
and
Pepsi.
Hope. I think this is unfortunately Hope says she went from blonde hair to gray hair.
Oh, embracing the natural.
There you go.
I'm not
Take it
there
in.
yet. Hope. Sorry.
Take it
There
in.
you go. 803-404-6100. Keep them coming. We'll get to more of them. Obviously, one of the other big discussions yesterday was the college football playoff. A man well ahead of his time that unfortunately has passed on. Mike Leach from, actually, I think this was back in 2017. This is Mike
2017.
Leach. This is Mike Leach's take on the playoff football committee, the group back then, 2017, that decided, who would get in the playoff. Mike Leach maybe looking well into the future. Here's a quote. This is Mike Leach from 2017 talking about the playoff football committee. Oh, we can play the portal thing with no problem at all.
It's portal
Yeah, hang on just a second
day.
because I'm about to enter the Vox Pro in the transfer portal.
All that setup. Felt like I was doing so good as a radio host. There we go.
Is the mind-numbingly short-sighted notion that 4 teams for a playoff, somehow establishes something, and that's a very clever approach. I mean, that's such a brilliant approach. That's why everybody does it that way. Nobody does it that way. I mean, if we were so smart, wouldn't all the other sports say, I know what, let's have a committee, because why not? Because, we're American. We love committees. Let's get us a committee. Well, who should be on the committee? Well, I don't know. This guy's a good guy. Let's have him on the committee. Well, there's people on the committee that don't even have remote associations with football, nor have they at any level other than being a fan. But you know what? Let's have them on a committee. Why not? And then, it'd be fun. We'd go to that resort. We could talk. We could hang out at dinner. And then we'll decide which 4 teams should go. Because you know why? We don't need to solve this on the field because we're the ones that know. And then, if we're going to do it that way, we should just ask them at the beginning of the season, just go ahead and you guys vote on it, figure out 1, 2, 3, and 4, and why even have the games? To me, that's not a playoff. There's nothing playoff about it. And this is even if we make it. Even if we make it, my thoughts don't change. How can you call it a playoff when there's 4 teams?
5
champions don't even necessarily make the playoffs because you know why? Because the committee knew better.
That's from 2017. That's Mike Leach. And that just makes me miss him more.
I'm sure he would have a lot of things to say.
You're right. I would love to. And by the way, in 2017, Washington State finished 9-4. Now the next year they finished 11-2. The breakdown I've got says 20. This is him on 2017. 2018 they finished 11-2 and went to the Alamo Bowl. But in 2017 they were 9-4. Went and lost in the Holiday Bowl. Man, I miss that guy. We'll discuss a little bit of what he said when he come back. Keep him coming. Keep him coming. What did you portal into this year? I got anonymous texter. Decided to make the transfer from IGA Table Right Meats to the fine folks over at Old Timey Meat Market.
Nice.
There you go. Good job.
Very
Anonymous
solid
texter.
choice. That was going from, that's going up to D1.
Yep. Joe goes from lettuce. He went from lettuce to spinach this year. Nice call, Joe. Yeah. I'm with Joe on it. Lettuce to spinach. And Michael, I've entered the transfer portal from young, fun, and happy to an old, grumpy man.
It happens. It comes quickly, too.
Yeah. You don't even realize it one night, and it's just there. 803-404.
Ask Tiger Woods.
Yeah. 803-404-6100. You're listening to the early game.
Download the 107.5 The Game app and listen anywhere. The beach, the gym, and yes, even there. Go to iTunes or Google Play and snag the 107.5 The Game app.
Preston, let me tell you about my friends at Integrated Media. We've been talking about the portal. Got to jump in the portal and get to our friends at Integrated Media. You had it all the spring. You had the summer. You had the season. It's finally holiday season, but it's not too late. Get yourself set up with the outdoor setup. You can get Samsung Terrace TVs, get them waterproof, Sonos outdoor speakers, You can have your TV. You can have your Christmas tunes playing. Get everything set up with Wi-Fi that works indoors and outdoors. And my personal favorite, as I always say, controlling all your devices from just one remote. So from home theater setup to adjusting your thermostat or monitoring your security systems from your cell phone, Integrated Media is the company that you need to call. Call Nathan and Michael at 803-948-8327. That's 803-948-8327. Or check them out online at integratedmediainc.com. It's online at integratedmediainc.com.
With over 100 online casino-style games, Chumba Casino is your go-to destination for nonstop entertainment. Play for fun and play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void or prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Your attention is precious. Pulled in a million directions for a million different reasons. Blue Cross and Blue Shield Federal Employee Program works hard to make sure your health insurance isn't one of the many things distracting you from what's important. By making healthcare easier to navigate, we help keep your focus on the moments that matter most, like dinner with loved ones, letting you focus on you. That's the benefit of Blue. Learn more at fepblue.org.
Plus, text entitled with approved credit card 662434623 for details.
It's the most wonderful buy of the year.
You'll be singing about savings during the sale of the year at JT's Dodgeland and JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. 12,000 off new Jeeps. Your stocking will be stuffed when you save 12 grand on new Rams. Chargers and Challengers 6,000 off. Get 2.9% for 72 months. And if you've got coal in your credit stocking, come see JT. JT'sCars.com. Wrap up the year sales event.
Give the gift of glow at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. Buy a spa package, get a free massage or facial gift card. Visit any one of their Columbia area Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa locations or handandstone.com to view their exclusive online offers and find the spa nearest to you. Restrictions apply. See spa for more details.
Hi, everybody. This is Woody Wyndham here to talk about Pioneer Tree Service, Guy Gant's company. Guy Gant's not with us anymore, but his girls are the Gant girls. You know, Chelsea and Madison. You know some of the things they do at Pioneer Tree Service? Tree and shrub removal, tree pruning and thinning, tree planting, tree bracing, raising tree canopies, stump grinding removal, storm damage services, property cleaning and grading, demolition and rock removal, right-of-way maintenance. You got to get in touch with these people. 803-794-8253. Let me give you that again. 803-794-8253. Call right now and get a free estimate. For the most challenging jobs, Pioneer Tree Service. So you're going to want to call somebody you can trust, and that is the Gant girls at Pioneer Tree Service.
803-794-8253.
Or find us online at pioneertreesc.com.
Call Pioneer Tree Service for a free quote.
For the real story behind some of wrestling's biggest moments, it's Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson, too.
1995, when WCW announces they're going to be live and head-to-head with Monday Night Raw, feels like this would have been something Vince would have kind of laughed off.
No, we did not like them moving to Monday nights. There were a lot of hotels. They all carried CNN, TBS, and TNT. Vince was convinced that Ted Turner had deviously done this deal to get in the hotels and keep us out.
Something to Wrestle, wherever you listen.
The Game On Demand podcast menu.
Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner. 107.5 The Game, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach, 100.5 The Game in Florence.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic
Is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
We do have a report of an accident, Percival Road at I-77. An obstruction on the roadway, I think maybe a car versus animal incident. I-126 westbound just before Greystone Boulevard. So do be careful out there this morning. Hope your commute is going smoothly, and weather-wise should be pretty good. Mostly sunny today. 64 for the high, that overnight low of 39. Tomorrow, cooler and breezy. 57 for the high, but that overnight low getting kind of brisk. 30 for that overnight low. And then Thursday, sunny, 57. And again, the overnight around 35. But we have a nice morning. Great way to start your Tuesday. It's sun's coming up, and it's 42 on the early game.
you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
On your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
The problem sometimes is we get on a topic and it's so good, and we appreciate everybody that wants to weigh in, that I miss a few text messages, and I apologize because I hate that I missed this one right when it got sent in. But at 7:14, Sammy sent us a text message that says, first and foremost, I'd like to thank God.
Yes.
Secondly, I'd like to thank myself and Mama and Lamont, Mr. Bojangles, wherever you are. But I've decided to take my talents to joggers, athletic wear, and any such stretchy pants. I appreciate blue jeans and khakis, and I can't thank them enough for all they have helped me accomplish through the years, but my heart and my passion can now be found in all things elastic. Please respect my decision.
That was very well done, I must say.
Thank you, Sammy.
Embracing the whole thing.
Sammy. Very
you,
great,
Sammy.
great job.
Very good.
Well, great composition.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Ron from Lake.
I appreciate your calls too.
Ron from Lake Marion. I don't know if I agree with this one. He jumped in the portal from thick cut bacon to dry cured link sausage.
Wow. That there's a curve or two that you've taken to get to that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's an interesting take.
Regular bacon or pepper bacon?
I'm in the bacon, whatever.
Yeah.
This is a month transfer. I feel like this is I don't know if this is a monthly transfer. Anonymous texter entered the transfer portal from Swiss cake rolls to Christmas tree cakes.
That's gonna be tough because what are you gonna do the rest of the year?
Right.
Swiss cakes are here all year. Christmas cakes, 2 months. So I understand your decision.
Unless you have bought so many that you'll eat them through the rest of the year, because they will.
I feel like this anonymous texter might be caught up in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
He saw the cakes. He needs to have some advice, talk to an advisor, and just kind of lay out the whole year for him, because it's going to get kind of dry on the Christmas cakes come around February.
Mm-hmm.
But then they have also Valentine's cakes. Then.
So are you going more?
So he's just going seasonal cakes?
That could be. And is he basically trying to go from chocolate to vanilla? Because that's really
that's
so maybe that's
true.
the direction.
Connor also completely understanding the program. After much thought and deliberation, prayer, and talk with my family, this time I've spent with turkey sandwiches for lunch has been amazing. With that being said, I'm entering my name into the transfer portal, and I'll be taking my talents to the Bologna and Pepper Jack Sandwich University. Please respect my decision. Go Cold Cuts. Connor. Good job, Connor. Good job.
We respect your decision, Connor.
Good job,
100%. And we'll need samples.
I missed a couple of y'all getting completely.
You have to, folks. Just
this
so you
was
know,
a little
remember,
longer.
It's December, okay? Because we already had one guy call who said, "Oh, JC's not going to be here." Well, then I'm done, because now that we won't hear anything sports wise. I'm like, well, dude, it is December.
You're good.
You're
good.
Hey, check this out. 5-7. We're not going into a bowl.
Right.
The college football committee.
This is how we lick our wounds.
It's pretty controversial.
I want to go back to that. So you heard the and JC's not here today. He's doing some dad stuff. You heard the Mike Leach thing, both being serious and being honest about what we just saw. How did you take the Mike Leach? First off, him just saying, well, let's get a committee. Well, who needs to be on the committee? Well, how, he's not, I don't know how you feel about having a committee to determine what we just did, to determine the top 4 teams.
As somebody who's worked my life in education, when he started speaking on the travesty of committees, I felt him in my soul. I understand that concept. He's obviously he's making a point. He had the foresight to see that this was going to happen. It's just what they was going to do. There was no way you were going to have 4 teams with at least a Power 5. Somebody was going to be left out. I said it yesterday. It's like musical chairs. There was just somebody that was not going to be able to get a seat, and that's just how it was going to play out.
I think the other question for me on that is, and I'm sure somewhere out there, I haven't seen it on ESPN or CBS Sports, or maybe I've missed it, or maybe it's not been put out there. If we were still using computer rankings, what this would have been. And
have you seen that? I haven't seen.
That's what I'm saying. I have not seen.
I feel
I feel like the committee has suppressed Those
Yeah.
computer algorithms and rankings have magically disappeared because it might have suggested Florida State would have been in the top 4, much like the old BCS computer rankings. I don't know. I haven't seen it anywhere. I've not seen ESPN release a rankings to offset. But again, ESPN is the one who has the show, and in a way is kind of defending I believe kind of defending the committee on this. But would you rather have computer algorithms and rankings, or would you rather have human beings?
Well, can you not? You can't blame the computer. Where you
I
can
mean-
blame people on a
I
computer.
mean, I
Committee.
guess we could have like 8 bowls of dog food and just release 4 dogs.
I
you
think
know,
that
like-
there's a lot better opportunities for.
I don't know. People might. I know that there's a group of people in Tallahassee that have been like, I'll take that. I'll take the odds of that over what just happened.
Yeah, I would. I was earlier saying that I don't like relying strictly on analytics to make a human decision. I do think that the people on the committee or the people who are in charge of making decisions should use analytics, whatever, to help them make their decision. But you shouldn't just say this. Put a bunch of numbers in the computer and give us the answer. Because like Jen just said, it makes it very easy for you not to be able to blame in somebody. You just say, oh, well, the computer program did it. What can I do? I can't do anything. So I'm personally against any decision made with 100% analytics. That's just my personal opinion. And that could be for this committee. That could be whether we're talking about coaching decisions, a lot of things that sort of fall in this category. I don't believe that you should strictly rely on analytics to make any decision.
803-404-6100, how you can weigh in this morning. MW says the answer is pretty clear. We need a review committee to make sure the committee got the right answer.
There you go.
I really do wonder, like, for all of you out there, it was interesting yesterday after we wrapped up our show and I would run into people and they would kind of want to talk about it. I don't know what the anger, like for non-Florida State fans, obviously Alabama fans, Georgia fans. But if we're sitting here as both South Carolina and Clemson fans, our own distinct fan bases, are you angry about this? Do you see or do you just like kind of like I have been like, yeah, it stinks, but I also feel like this problem will be rectified next year. I don't think we're gonna be arguing about 13 and 14. I don't think. I could be wrong.
Not with the same fervor. It won't be the same. There will be arguments because that's what we do, but it won't be with the same passion, and there probably won't be as many justified cases either.
803-404-6100. Let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines, get us another opinion. David, how you doing this morning? What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, folks. Enjoy your show. Just wanted to share something. I don't know that I've heard anybody else say this, but here's a concept for you. So I know hindsight is 20/20, but what if the playoff committee would have said, in anticipation of going to 12 teams in 2024, let's go to 6 teams in 2023. Think about what you would have had in the upcoming week. You'd have had number 6 Georgia playing number 3 Texas and number 5 Florida State playing number 4 Alabama. Would that not be 2 awesome play-in games essentially?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm hoping. Here's the other thing we're hoping is that this round of parity, and I say parity only in the sense that we have so many teams that could conceivably win a championship. I think this is more. I mean, honestly, if it's a 1-game shot and it's not NFL or Major League Baseball or NHL, NBA, where it's best of 7, could you defiantly argue that Missouri couldn't beat Michigan in a 1-game chance?
I think might even take my odds on Missouri, period. Not even,
I
wouldn't even have to make that. But yes, to answer that question, no, I could. Yes, obviously, I think Missouri could have a shot against Michigan in a one game opportunity.
Probably neutral site situation. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if we'll get this again. If this is what the portal and everything have created, man, it's a lot of fun. Sucks for certain teams when you lose players. I get it. Vanderbilt's being rated. That's a whole other conversation for later on what Vanderbilt football does. We will get into something else. Boy, if you think we've been silly, wait till the next segment. People being ejected from NFL games, especially your own security. We'll discuss that. You're listening to the early game.
gotta take.
Hit us up on the Firehouse Subs text line.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
803-404-6100.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Fairfield by Marriott, official hotel partner of the NCAA. On Sunday, Atlanta traded for outfielder Jared Kelenic. Kelenic was the Mets' 2018 first-round draft choice, who was traded to Seattle. He's only 24, fresh off a 32-home-run season. And I have this bad feeling that somehow, some way, he's going to torment the Mets for years to come. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Get the home field advantage every time with Fairfield by Marriott, official hotel partner of the NCAA. Whether you're a student athlete working toward your championship dreams or your team's biggest fan, Fairfield by Marriott has everything you need to get ready for game day, from comfortable guest rooms to complimentary hot breakfast. Fairfield is part of the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio of hotels and official hotel partner of the NCAA. Visit fairfield.marriott.com to book your next game day stay.
Save big every day during our 25 days of deals at Lowe's. Right now, get the lowest prices of the year on select major appliances. Get up to 45% off and save an extra $100 on every $800 you spend on select major appliances. And buy now, pay later with Lowe's Pay. Because Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid to 12/6. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Subject to credit approval.
Plus, text title with approved credit card 866-243-4623 for details.
It's the most wonderful buy of the year.
You'll be singing about savings during the sale of the year at JT's Dodgeland and JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. 12,000 off new Jeeps. Your stocking will be stuffed when you save 12 grand on new Rams. Chargers and Challengers 6,000 off. Get 2.9% for 72 months. And if you've got coal in your credit stocking, come see JT. JT'sCars.com. Wrap up the year sales event.
Life matters. Robert F. Kennedy said, "Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly." Kenneth Taylor learned this truth the hard way. After spending years on his book, he sent it to several religious publishers. Not only was he repeatedly rejected, but he was also called a blasphemer and a heretic. After 39 rejections, exhausting all known publishers of religious books in America, he decided God was sending him a message. Was it to quit? No way. He was so sure of his venture that he decided to start his own publishing company. He began Tyndale House Publishers in order to print the nearly 50 million copies of his best-selling work, The Living Bible. Taylor's big risk paid off for him and for many people who found new life through his contemporary paraphrase of the Bible. He knew that risk-taking with God can be the adventure of a lifetime. This is Stephen Chitty, pastor of Christian Life. Remember, life matters, and so do you.
Fall is officially here. Crisp mornings, breezy evenings, offering relief from the hot summer. But for some older folks, it also means it's time to fire up the heat. AAA Heating and Air wants to help our seniors make sure their heating systems are in tip-top shape for changing weather. That is why AAA Heating and Air is offering complimentary unit checkups to all senior citizens in our service area. If you are 62 years or older, call AAA Heating and Air at 803-677-1500 to schedule your appointment today and tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
The early game
With Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Shen Jensen.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
$7:49 on a Tuesday morning. Transfer Portal Tuesday is the initial day of zaniness has concluded. Let me see if I can go back and get an up very quickly. Let me see if I can get an updated number yesterday on total number of transfer portal entrants. Ballpark it over under 1,000.
Over.
This is This is from On3 Sports. You can go to their transfer 2024 college football transfer portal The On3 transfer portal lists all college athletes. It says college athletes. I'm assuming football because it says football, but enters that enter the NCAA transfer portal, including data on previous and new school player rankings, overall team transfer rankings. So this is according to On3 Sports. As of this morning, let's just hit the refresh button very quickly and see. Okay, it actually updated by 2. As of today, 962 players are in the 2024 college. 962, Preston.
Very big number. Very big number. And to be clear, I saw the statistic earlier. Less than 4% of players who enter the portal stay or remain with their team. So less than 4%. So essentially, once you enter the portal, that's essentially you have made your decision. Now, Shane was pretty firm about this in years past. Shane Beamer, coach of the Gamecocks, and his stance is essentially once you enter the portal, we're moving on.
Right.
And every coach doesn't have that same philosophy, but a majority of players that once you enter the portal, they do not necessarily come back. 4%. Less than 4%.
I'm just looking. Their update has just 2 players in it that has entered this morning, I guess, listed at 12-5. Jordan Greer, a junior defensive back from Indiana, and Isaiah Reed, a interior offensive lineman from Louisville. So just FYI on that, at least 2 so far this morning. So not a crazy, zany morning.
And that's the way this will work. There was obviously an initial rush on Monday. It'll start trickling in. I imagine the ones that are trickling in now are more players are having conversations with their coaches. And this was something back when I played, way back in the early 2000s, something that happens at the end of the year. You go to your conversation, much like you have at your job. You have a one-on-one with the coach. And sometimes the coaches say, look, this is what your forecast is. You can make the best decision for you. But if you want to play, if you want to start, you might need to look for greener pastures. So that's probably these conversations that are happening now.
803-404-6100. Keep them coming. I'll get back into several of these things that you, our fantastic listeners, transferred, portaled into this past season. A lot of y'all with some really good ones. Papa Gene I entered the portal from cream and sugar to black coffee.
Ooh.
Appreciate all the love and support to my baristas and will forever be grateful. I had one here that you would really like if I can go back and find it, because we've only gotten about 150 submissions this morning.
Appreciate everybody's participation.
We have done it, but I'll get to more of these here over the final hour. One thing that occurred on Sunday, we were introduced to Big Dom DeSandro, head of security. There even became a highlight clip. Here is what happened if you were unfamiliar with Big Dom during the Eagles 49ers game Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, they're making him leave. He's walking away.
His responsibility is there.
Yeah.
I think you're right. This is unbelievable. Tom, let's go back to you. I know a lot going on down there.
Kev, that's exactly what happened. Greg was all over it. They came back, motioned back over, and Dom is now leaving the sideline. Wow, you want to talk about a spark for this sideline. Sirianni saw Greenlaw made contact with Dom. That ignited people, and now if you're going to go 1-for-1.
Big Dom. Is there a better name for a security guard or a head of security? And if you haven't seen it, go check out the highlights of Big Dom getting off the bus. As they said, giving crispy daps to Nick Sirianni, protecting Jalen Hurts from rabid Commander fans. It was the first time the Commanders have ever had rabid fans. Preston Thorne, best nickname for head of security. Big Dom is up there.
I don't know if you can have a better one. You got to understand, his name is Big Dom amongst the NFL guys. This is a team with Jordan Davis on it, and his name is Big Dom. Because here's the concept about Big. He's not the biggest guy on that sideline, but very clearly, Big Dom is somebody who everybody knows, recognizes, and understands this man is probably capable of things that we probably shouldn't speak of early in this morning. I would imagine he's very calm, cordial, nice, but Big Dom is not somebody you want to cross ever. I'm pretty sure.
If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And Sirianni after the game said, I know in Dom's heart he was truly trying to diffuse the situation right there. I don't know about that.
I don't think Dom.
I don't think so.
Dom doesn't know how to diffuse the situation. You go from 0 to Dom very quickly. Not a guy. I know guys like this. You don't want to mess with big Doms.
803-404-6100. Hour 3 on the way.
Presley, let me tell you about my friends at Absolute Glass, man. The premier glass company of the Midlands, offering auto, home, and business glass repairs. Listen, if your glass is damaged, shattered, cracked, or broken, they can handle the job. They'll come out to your location and they'll give you a free quote for any job. What does out to your location mean? That means wherever you are, they will come to you. Whether you're at work, whether you're at school, your third place, the bar, wherever, they will come out and take care of it for you. They'll do it usually for free, and they work directly with your insurance to take away the headache. Now, if you're at home and you're looking to increase the value of your home with new windows or mirrors, Absolute Glass will come out and take care of that for you too. Windows, mirrors, shower enclosures. I say all the time, if you can see through it, Ray and Marianne at Absolute Glass can do it. So check them out online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com. It's online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Sponsored by Canty Foundation Specialists. Cracked concrete, sinking foundation, or need new gutters, Canty can fix it. Now is the perfect time to get your sinking or cracked concrete fixed. Whether a sidewalk, a porch, or a pool deck, Canty Foundation has the perfect solution. Don't replace it, repair it. Call today for a free estimate or visit CantyCanFixIt.com.
If you're living with bad windows and doors, you don't have to suffer through the cold winter with them. Hi, I'm Colin Sullivan with Renewal by Anderson. Act now to schedule your free, no obligation, in-home consultation with my team at freewindowassessment.com. Go to freewindowassessment.com today.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet. No pressure buying. Best in class service. And a $1,000 low price guarantee. The season's always better in a Love Chevrolet. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads.
The holidays start here at Kroger with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. Whether you're making a traditional roasted turkey or spicy turkey tacos, your go-to shrimp cocktail, or your first Cajun risotto, Kroger has all the freshest ingredients to embrace your traditions. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, you'll save big on Barilla pasta, Gatorade, and 2-liter Pepsi. Your choice, 5 for $5 when you buy 5 with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Owners Gene and Debbie Royer of All American Heating and Air.
I think that's the biggest mistake ever of putting a technician on commission. My technician has no reason to overcharge. We don't do that.
You can trust All American.
When your heating and air breaks down, it's an emergency to you. It's an emergency to us also.
All American's technicians are NATE certified.
Let our family help your family. We're All American.
All American Heating and Air.
AllAmericanHeatingandAir.com.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
And a couple accidents to let you know about. Farrow Road near Beckman Drive. Also, I-26 eastbound there at exit 97. Percival Road at I-77, an accident there. So be careful this morning if you would. 64 for the high today under sunny skies. That overnight low 39. Gets a little bit cooler tomorrow and breezy. 57 for the high, that overnight low of 30. And Thursday, sunny, 57 as well. But we do have a nice start. The sun is out, a little bit cool. It is 42 on the early game.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is Gamecock quarterback Spencer Rattler, and you're listening to 107.5 The Game, the home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
The early game.
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
Kansas and Illinois. Sounds like a great basketball game, Preston Thorne, but it's
A
Illinois.
lot of
at-
corn. A lot of corn.
A lot of corn. Is Illinois known as the Corn State?
Oh, there's a ton of corn. Yeah.
Really?
And Jen Jensen.
There was a school south of us that we played, and they were called, the town was Hoopston, and they were the Hoopston Corn Jerkers. Can't make it up.
Ooh. That's unfortunate.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game.
The theme of this show. I don't know what happened.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
I mean, it'll be a fun game. It'll be a fun atmosphere. Certainly it makes for a great game in that they are ranked and both teams are undefeated. It'll be great for the state, fun for the state, fun for both schools, and should be a lot of fun. There's no more or less juice to it, honestly. Just we're trying to continue to get better, and it'll be our first true road game, and so just seeing how guys respond to adversity, that'll definitely hit. And then, how do we come out of the gates and how do we stick to the script and all the things that go along with that. But certainly it's a fun game for the state with both teams being undefeated right now.
Lamont Paris, yesterday, you heard the balls bouncing in the background. That was not Wes Mitchell or Chris Clark doing interviews and dribbling around. That was the team getting ready.
One of my favorite sports cliches is the basketball coach doing an interview with the squeaks and the balls bounce. I love that. I love that.
That was Lamont Paris previewing the rivalry stakes. This is fun. Obviously, it's a little bit of a shame for us that we've had such hot topic football items here Monday and Tuesday. Obviously, tomorrow morning we will get a lot more into this basketball game, and we'll take a little bit of time here in this hour, a few other things we want to get into. But Preston, this is fun because I don't know how it was being around. I remember what it was like being around campus, but as an athlete for you coming off of the season, I have to go back and look at the dates, but coming off of the season, what you remember about being an athlete and the basketball team going to play Clemson, as opposed to the energy, the passion, the excitement that we saw for the football team playing Clemson.
Yeah, man. Those were always my guys. Shout out to, Aaron Lucas and Mike Boynton and Carlos Powell, all those guys that were in school when I was there. Those always are, we always hung around each other. So once our season was over, you would just go and support those guys. And if it was a continuation of if you beat them that year, you would want them to beat them also. Or if you didn't beat them, you'd be like, man, y'all got to get them for us. So there was always that sort of camaraderie amongst athletes, but especially with basketball season sort of being right after football season, you would always be going to these games.
It is just because of the history of the two teams.
Rohau, shout out.
And RIP Rohau.
RIP Rohau.
But this is third in the rivalry rankings, if you will, of Carolina Clemson.
Yes.
Football's 1.
Yes.
Baseball, I don't think is without question. Baseball is 2. And then you'd have this game. And you might even be able to throw, conceivably women's soccer or men's soccer, because it's just, this game has never had the juice. It's hard. It's never on the same date. When I was growing up in the 80s and the early 90s, I think before South Carolina entered the SEC, and it might have changed a few years after, this game was played like midweek during conference play in late January or February. It's never had a set date. The excitement because of two good teams. There was some times there during Eddie Fogler and Rick Barnes, but those games were like 48-46, 51-4. They were legitimate rock fights. Yeah. There have been some great moments in the series.
Also because of scheduling, sometimes it would be when the students weren't on campus.
Yes.
So thankfully we're in session, so the students up there will be able to get to the games. That does always provide some extra energy, but you're right. It never quite has the same feel.
I wonder, and I'll throw this out there along because I've got a couple of you who have done a very good job here of offering. Two of you actually started with, two of you started the same way. After careful consideration, I'll get back into those.
Nice.
But I'm going to throw out also for this hour, 803-404-6100. Would you be in favor of this game being moved permanently to a Friday night before the football game? Now, to me, you'd have to you'd have to rotate a year. You'd have to throw it off because obviously they're at Clemson this year and the football game's up there next year. So hypothetically,
They'd have to be paired together, right?
pair them together. That way, if everybody's in town, Columbia would be a little bit easier. Hotels up in Clemson are a little bit more difficult. And the only other thing that stinks about it would be, again, I don't know if you're taking away from students being on campus or coming back the Saturday of the game. I don't know how that would work. But would you be in favor of pairing the basketball game and the football game together to make it a true Carolina Clemson weekend where, say, the Friday night here this past season, the Friday night you have, I mean, you could even move the time up. I know television tries to dictate things, but maybe you dictate this a little bit more. And you have either a 6 or a 7 o'clock South Carolina Clemson basketball game, and then you've got the football game the next day. 803-404-6100. Now that you're a civilian and a fan, would you be in favor of that?
I get it. I would be in viewing area. That's a tough one. I don't know.
Beth from Lamar, good point. Thank you, Beth. This is why I throw it out there. Beth says no. High school football is still going on.
There it is. That's the answer. That's my answer then.
So then we maybe move it to Sunday?
No, because everybody has a hangover on Sunday.
True. Okay.
Yeah, you have a, if you have an actual hangover or just the hangover from winning or losing the game, that'll be a difficult one.
Makes it, Beth. Good point. Thank you.
That's a great point, Beth.
Anonymous texter says the Carolina Clemson game hits different this year. It does. 2 undefeated teams. Clemson's worked their way into the rankings, 24th in the AP poll. I believe they were 20th in the coaches poll. But I'll throw that out there. See if anybody else agrees with Beth. She's got a good point. High school football going on, but would you be in favor of moving that game? Because I do think having it a more permanent date where you already know ahead of time, and you're not waiting on the schedule to come out. You just say this is what it is. I know there's some other little things you could get invited. I think it's Orlando. I believe has I believe they're the whatever it is. There's a tournament down there in Orlando at the Disney complex. One of those multi-team tournaments that could throw off a schedule a year or two, but I'm not sure if people would be interested in moving that game just to create a little more jazz. Because look, the South Carolina Clemson, South Carolina Clemson baseball series is going to be, I believe, the 3rd series of the year. I think that's exactly right. I think it's the 3rd, not the 4th. 3rd series of the year, so you can kind of look and plan it out, and then ahead of time, Columbia, Greenville, Clemson, or Clemson, Greenville, Columbia. You know how the schedule works, and you can kind of schedule if you want to go to that game as opposed to waiting, and then finally the schedule comes out and say August for basketball, and you're like, oh, okay, that's where it is.
Yeah, I mean, the easy answer would be there would just be more juice in the game if both teams were more consistently competitive and both teams were consistently good. That seems like that would have to be for basketball. But now we have that. Maybe with the consistency in the games, both teams getting better, maybe there becomes more juice for the game.
Yeah, that is one thing. I mean, look, both teams get better. There will be more juice. It doesn't matter if you play it at 2 a.m.
right
on a Sunday morning, wherever in Augusta, it would be. But we'll see. We'll get into it a lot more. Lamont Paris likely to join us in studio next week because they have an off week. By the way, tomorrow Brian Rosefield will join us from the Bash. He'll be in from 7:30 to 8 o'clock.
Awesome event.
Tomorrow to talk a little high school basketball, and we will get his take on South Carolina and Clemson as well. So we'll talk a lot of basketball tomorrow morning. 803-404-6100. This is probably the way to go. Anonymous texter. After careful consideration,
I like it.
I've decided to transfer from fanatical fan to casual fan who still wants the Gamecocks to win, but doesn't lose sleep over every portal entry or recruit decision.
That's probably the way. That's probably the way. You're still here, you're paying attention, but your heart doesn't palpitate every time news breaks on your phone. That's probably the way to go.
Another anonymous texter. Make sure I get this one up. Here, I'll go back to this. Well, here we go. This is Coach Gillespie from Camden. After much consideration, I'm entering the transfer portal from a high school coach transferring to fired Power 5 or NFL coach for my future. Thanks for all the lack of support that make my dreams come true.
Shout out to the Camden Bulldogs, man. Great season.
Very good. Very good. And this one going back to the last topic from Soda City Bobby, who talks about Big Dom. Big Dom is a hero and a legend. Played at Penn State back in the 90s. Been there since the Andy Reid era. Love that guy. Go Birds.
Listen, man, you don't want to mess with somebody named Big Dom.
It does appear that would be the way to go. Another anonymous texter. Even though I appreciate and love all my time with sweet potato pies during the holiday season, I would like to officially announce I'm entering the transfer portal for peanut butter brownies. I wish the best to Sweet Potato Pie Nation.
That's a big time transfer. You went from pies to brownies, made a whole different choice, but I respect it.
803-404-6100. We'll get to more of these as we roll along this morning. Get into a little bit of the injury situation for Jacksonville and what Preston thinks as it pertains to quarterbacks and teams. There was an injury situation to one college team that, boy, will be much discussed for a while, at least over the next month. And we'll let you listen to a little bit more Lamont Paris as he previews the Clemson Tigers. A lot to do. 1 hour to do it. You're listening to Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner, she's Jen Jensen. It's the early game.
Gamecocks quarterback Lenora Sellers will hop on the Garnet Trust Hour Tuesday at 10 a.m. on The Game in Columbia, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
Well, we've kind of gone back to, what is it, the fakes. It almost feels like a fake spring, to be honest, not even a fake fall. The weather, once again, welcome to South Carolina today, projected to be about 66 degrees, supposed to be pretty nice the next few days. So, all right, you don't need your heating unit right now, but you know as well as I do, starting in January, February, March, it could be a chance of snow. It's going to be cold. Your heating unit is going to need to work. So contact AAA Heating and Air today. Get them out to your house. If you're 62 years of age or older, it's time to get them out and get a complimentary heating unit checkup. You definitely want that heating unit turning on when you need it this coming winter, and I found that out the hard way 2 years ago. But AAA Heating and Air came out to the house, got everything fixed, and we are good to go. They'll do the exact same for you. So contact them today, 803-677-1500. Again, that's 803-677-1500. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you. 107.5 The Game.
107.5 The Game. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? I'm Dr. Mark Bentley with Columbia Secret for Weight Loss, and I know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose unhealthy fat without counting points or calories, no exercising, no prepackaged or boxed meals, no surgery, and no hypnosis, call my office now at 803-824-4210.
Hi, this is Kyle. This weight loss program sure has been great to me. I've lost 93 pounds in just 4 months, only 20 pounds away from my goal weight. It has surely changed my life.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month. That's a half a pound to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 803-824-4210. That's 803-824-4210. Or ColumbiaSecretForWeightLoss.com.
Plus text title with approved credit card 866-243-4623 for details.
It's the most wonderful buy of the year.
You'll be singing about savings during the sale of the year at JT's Dodgeland and JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. 12,000 off new Jeeps. Your stocking will be stuffed when you save 12 grand on new Rams. Chargers and Challengers 6,000 off. Get 2.9% for 72 months. And if you've got coal in your credit stocking, come see JT'sCars.com. Wrap up the year sales event.
Bill Gunner for my great friend, Dr. Dan Balknight with the Men's Clinic. The Men's Clinic is a local clinic with a well-respected physician and Dr. Balknight that will oversee your health care. It's not like programs you see online. This will be tailored to your individual needs. So contact the Men's Clinic today, 803-875-MENS. Again, that's 803-875-MENS, or you can visit them on the web and learn more. mensclinicsc.com.
Save big during Lowe's 25 days of deals. Right now, get up to 50% off select artificial Christmas trees, holiday lights, and more. Lowe's knows deals. Every day. Valid through 12/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Pete Elwine Pool and Spa is your hometown hot tub dealer where sales and service go hand in hand. If you've been thinking about buying a hot tub, come check out our full line of hot tubs and explore the benefits of hydrotherapy, which includes stress relief and increased blood flow and promotes overall health and well-being. Models start as low as $5,000. Pete Elwine Pool and Spa, 5541 Sunset Boulevard. You'll find us on Facebook or online at PeteLWinePools.com.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet, where saving is always the name of the game. The lowest price, guaranteed, or they'll pay you $1,000. South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic
Is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
Well, things have picked up out on the highways. I feel bad. I was, saying that it was pretty light. Maybe I did this. I apologize. Hardin Street at Taylor, we have an accident there. Also, I-26 eastbound at exit 97. Also along I-26 eastbound, goodness gracious, exits 110 and 111. There are accidents there. Then on I-26 westbound at exit 108A, an accident there as well. Monticello at Main Street, Percival Road at I-77, I-126 westbound before Greystone Boulevard, a little slowdown there, and Summit Ridge Drive at Summit Parkway. 64 under sunny skies today, overnight low 39, 57, cool and breezy tomorrow. Right now, 43 on the early game.
The early game with Bill Gunter.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
And Jen Jensen, your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia. 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
$8:16 on a Tuesday morning as we get you up. Again, just news from last night or yesterday. Transfer portal opened. Kyle McCord, Dylan Gabriel, kind of the bigger names that entered the quarterback transfer portal. Trevor Lawrence last night injuring his ankle, spraining his ankle in the 34-31 loss, overtime loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. Clemson news, they hired offensive line coach Matt Luke and defensive end coach Chris Rump yesterday. And then you had your Heisman finalist named yesterday as well. Jaden Daniels, I don't know. This is an interesting, we might get into this a little bit further on in the week and as to what the Heisman means. But the guys yesterday, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix of Oregon, Michael Penix Jr. of Washington, and Marvin Harrison Jr. of Ohio State, the wide receiver. So that's kind of your sporting news from yesterday, Preston Thorne. Maybe the big news last night, though, was Trevor Lawrence and the ankle injury. And that was the game Jacksonville, I guess it's fair to say, needed. They were a 10-point favorite. Over-under was set at 40. I tell you that because everybody who says that, Vegas always gets it right. Well, they were a little off last night. Here is the audio from the Trevor Lawrence injury last night during the Monday Night Football game.
3rd down and 11. Lawrence goes down. Ball came out, and Lawrence is grabbing at his leg. And he is in serious pain. Fumble was recovered by Anton Harrison, and Lawrence can't get off the field. I still didn't get a good look at what happened.
I don't think I'm a Jacksonville fan, Preston. I don't think I am. But I do enjoy seeing Jacksonville, who for a few years were awful at football. Then they had to deal with Urban Meyer for about 10 games. They were 8-3 last night, leading the AFC South going into the game. Lost the game, now 8-4, one game ahead of the Colts and the Texans in the AFC South. But, man, you lose Trevor Lawrence, and this will speak again volumes to what a quarterback does for your athletic program, your franchise, wherever you want to put it at.
Well, think about who they were playing against last night. They were playing against the Cincinnati Bengals, led by
Jake Browning last night.
Browning, yes. Which he played well.
Yes.
He played well, and Jake Browning might have a future somewhere as a starter creeping up somewhere because he did play well, and I remember him from college. But make no mistake about it, he is not Joe Burrow. And so you see that sort of happening over and over again where unfortunately the Jaguars have played well enough that bearing Trevor Lawrence being out for a few weeks, they may be able to get through that and still be able to place themselves in a good situation. But they were trending towards clinching the number one spot in the AFC. And now that's sort of up for grabs. They do play great defense. They do all the things right. Doug Peterson is an excellent coach. I'm so happy for Trevor that he does not have to spend his career under the thumb of Urban Meyer. That was a very tough way to start his career. You see what's happened once he's gotten an actual coach in the building that has taken that team to another level. But it speaks to how important the quarterback is. And doesn't matter what level of this sport that you're playing, as the game has progressed in the modern era, you cannot win without I won't even say, but you have to be better than serviceable in order to win in any game now.
Okay. And I have a reason for asking this. I'm just interested. When do you think that changed? At what point do you think that changed? And here's why. Because it felt like early in the 2000s, in particular the Baltimore Ravens with Trent Dilfer, if you had an elite defense, you could get away with everything else. You're saying now that the big change has become you have to have an elite quarterback.
Yeah. So with being on the spot, I think you'd have to point to some rule changes that allowed the quarterback to get more space to operate within the pocket, where they protected him a little bit more. Some offensive changes where pass interference is called a little bit more liberally. You can't put your hands on receivers. The game is just generally turned into a more offensive-minded game, and they've spread the field out, taking some cues from college. The NFL game has become a little bit more wide open. Analytics has also played a big part in this, where people are like, why should we run the ball on 1st and 10 and get 2 yards when we can throw the ball and potentially make some big plays? So I think there's a lot of converging factors that have made the change, but you saw it. Football is different in every other sport because the change trickles up in football instead of trickling down. High school coaches innovate things because they don't have a lot of pieces, so they have to figure out ways to win. College coaches steal that, and then NFL coaches steal that. And what you saw in the high school game was the spread offense start taking place. Shout out to Bobby Bentley, some of those early pioneers.
Go back real quick. Bobby Bentley, obviously, yes. Gus Malzahn and his rise from, I think it was Springdale High School in Arkansas. I believe it was Springdale.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of those guys that the reason why they went to these offenses, either one, they had a tremendously talented quarterback, or two, they didn't have any linemen, so they had to figure out some zany way to get the ball to their playmakers, and then all the other coaches start to steal those things. That has happened more in the NFL, and right now in the NFL, if you don't have a quarterback, you cannot win. The chances of you being successful are slim to none without a quarterback in the NFL right now.
So let's just circle that around real quick here for a few minutes. Where does that leave Spencer Rattler in this situation? And we were going to do this. How many quarterbacks out there? And if you see a Jake Browning, Joshua Dobbs is still hanging around the league. You can name a few others. I'm trying to think what was the guy for the Giants. This past weekend or 2
Tommy
weekends?
DeVito.
The DeVito, yes. And they were, yes. You can't see it because he's not on the live stream, but yes. Yes.
Tommy DeVito.
The old, yeah. You get it, the Italian hands. So where does Spencer Rattler fit in all this as he goes to the league?
Very high. I think his skill set lends him well to playing. He's going to be an NFL quarterback. With his professionalism, with his arm strength, he will probably be in the NFL for a long time, because the other thing that has changed with NFL quarterbacks is that you don't have to be statuesque like Trevor Lawrence. You don't have to be 6'5", be able to stand in the pocket. You've seen these guys with smaller stature. I think you could probably point to Drew Brees as sort of a prototype type of guy that you might see Spencer Rattler being. Spencer Rattler is going to be a pro for a long time, and I eventually would beg to say it won't be long before he's starting as an NFL quarterback.
You think he could be one of the 32 starting quarterbacks for a season, or off the bench for an injury?
I think for a season.
It's going to be interesting as he goes through the combine. Do you move him up, Preston? Do you think he does enough in the combine, in the underwear Olympics, or does he slide a little bit?
That's a good question. I've been on record saying Spencer's not a great athlete. He can move his feet.
I'll be interested. I wonder if he runs the 40 in the combine.
Spencer, this is my advice to you.
Don't run it.
Don't run. Just
throw.
Just go out there, point to your right arm and say, you see this? And just throw the ball like Uncle Rico. Throw it over the mountains. throw it over anywhere and just show him how big and strong your arm is. But nah, don't run.
The big question for him will be where he ends up. And I'm serious about this because no offense to Spencer or anybody. If you go to New York, if you go to the Jets, you're not going to make it. I'm just go ahead and tell you.
But I will say he's better than Zach Wilson.
Well, Zach Wilson can't get on the field right now. I think Zach Wilson's trying to get on the field, and they're like, nah, man.
He's better than Zach Wilson. He's better than Zach Wilson was in college. He's better than Zach Wilson now, period. Zach Wilson just got very, very fortunate.
Like, it's not inconceivable with the contract that he just got that going to the Chargers is not a bad place because they're going to give Justin Herbert the opportunity to learn, right? They're going to allow him to learn. But if he doesn't get it done, they're going to get worn out of him and say, all right, we're spending a lot of money here on you. Let's move on from you. Herbert signing that 5-year, $262.5 million deal. And that's the reason I say the Chargers might be perfect because he's going to be able to go there and learn behind Justin Herbert and learn in the league and not be thrown into action immediately. They're going to the Chargers give Herbert time and obviously all the opportunities to make it work. That'll give Spencer an opportunity to spend time watching the NFL, learning, being prepared to be that starting quarterback. It might not be with the Chargers, and it might be depending on how Herbert does, but you're not going to be thrust into action right away.
Yeah, and that's a great point. They will more than likely have a new coach by then, so we're seeing what that situation will be. I don't know if you saw Bill Belichick go to the stand the other day. He
didn't make it very long.
Well, he definitely referred to him as the San Diego Chargers. He was like, oh,
yeah,
I've been doing this for a long time now. But where you get drafted in the NFL, especially for a guy like Spencer, it's basically contingent on how solid the organization is. Because there's NFL teams and then there's teams that are just kind of in the NFL, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to go to one of those teams that is disorganized, dysfunctional. Things can change very rapidly, as we've seen with the Houston Texans. Things are changing down there. They got C.J. Stroud, new coach. Seems like they got things going in the right direction. So things can flip on a dime, but you just don't want to go to a spot where it's a bad spot. Much like we talked about with Gigi. Remember when we were talking about the NFL? I mean,
right.
The NBA? Where you go has as big a determinant on your talent and the outcomes of your talent as anything else, especially when you get to the leagues.
I'll just throw it out there. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, but Dallas isn't the worst option either. Prescott will be 31 next year when the season kicks off. They're always kind of, again, I'm looking at somewhere where for 2 to 3 years, it's all he needs, 2 to 3 years, to have a stable guy in front of him so that he can learn and really grasp NFL.
For all of the zaniness and all of the meddling and all of this stuff being on the camera, the Cowboys are a solid organization.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's a first-class organization. You know you're going to be treated well, and you're going to be coached fairly well. Now, whatever Jerry's doing from day to day, that's sort of a smoke show, but they're a solid organization. You could do much worse.
And then RL says, which NFL teams would be the worst?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, Jen, I mean, we know of one that could definitely be one.
I mean,
the Bears are not good and poorly run.
They do have 4 wins, though. The Panthers.
We don't
know what the Panthers are going to look like.
I don't know how that situation is going to turn out. And here's the thing: with Bryce Young on a rookie contract, the way the salary structure is set up, they can quickly move on from him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're going to get a new coach in there, but after next year, the Panthers, as we've seen, David Tepper's ready. They may be ready to cut bait and move on.
Spencer won't go there. I don't think. But I'm trying to just look down very quickly before we got to hit a break to give you who the Panthers' next NFL quarterback draft pick is. I'll have to see if I can find that. I'm trying to look real quick at who the best freshman quarterback was that'll be available in 2 years. I'll have to go back and look at that. 803-404-6100. As Preston has put on the rundown, the return of sliced bread. I'll let him explain it when we come back, and you can try to figure it out. It's the early game.
Yes, that phone in your pocket or purse will keep you in touch with your family and friends. It will take great selfies of you on amazing adventures or just this morning's breakfast. And it's pretty good in case of an emergency. But the single most important function of your phone is the game.
But both defenses have been This year? What's so funny?
The noise. You can listen anywhere. Just go to iTunes or Google Play and download the Game app now.
That time of year where purchasing a car, it should be a lot of fun. Christmas season, always a great time. And maybe for some of these new graduates, whether it's college or whether it's upcoming high school graduates, you're thinking now about a pretty cool Christmas present to send them off into the world. Again, maybe college, maybe high school, whatever it may be, but you're thinking about a brand new car, truck, or SUV, and at Love Chevrolet, they've got you covered. Servicing the Midlands for over 60 years, now is the time to go and visit them with 14 acres of brand new Chevys to choose from. The guarantee they will not sell above MSRP and offer you the $1,000 low price guarantee, meaning you can shop other dealerships and take the deal back to the folks at Love Chevrolet, or else they will top it. But what makes Love Chevrolet stand out for you and for that new high school or college graduate will be the way you are treated. That incredible sales staff, so friendly, so courteous. Go find out for yourself. I-26 in Harbison, between Lowe's and Frankie's Fun Park, or on the web, lovechevy.com. Get out to Love Chevrolet and find new roads.
At Take 5, they're faster than you think. That means they'll change your oil and have you back on the road before you can count all the change in your center console. Cha-ching, baby. Just sit back and relax while their fast, friendly team does all the work. Take 5. The stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
Must text entitled with proof credit. Call 888-320-6359 for details. Ho, ho, hold everything. Savings Clause is coming to JT's Kia. JT will stuff your stocking with savings. Thousands off new Kias. Telluride Sorrento Carnival. Save thousands in interest. Just 0.9%. Dream of a white Christmas, but make no payments till spring. Get 20% more for your trade, up to $6,000. And if you've got coal in your credit stocking, come see JT. JT'sKia.com. Kia season of giving back.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? I'm Dr. Mark Bentley with Columbia Secret for Weight Loss, and I know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose unhealthy fat without counting points or calories, no exercising, no prepackaged or boxed meals, no surgery, and no hypnosis, call my office now at 803-824-4210.
Columbia's Secret for Weight Loss changed my life. I've lost over 50 pounds, and now I have metabolic flexibility. To me, this program is more than just about fat loss. It's about a lifestyle. Throughout this program, the guidance and accountability help create a pathway to a healthier, better me.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month. That's a half a pound to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 803-824-4210. That's 803-824-4210 or ColumbiaSecretForWeightLoss.com.
No one likes to talk about the injuries, pain, disability, and lost loved ones that result from terrible car and tractor-trailer accidents. I'm Jason Reynolds. At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we're honored to be the lawyers our clients rely on during their toughest moments.
And I'm Stephen Samuels. When a work injury disrupts your life, I work hard to get you the medical treatment and workers' compensation you depend on.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
Palmetto Strings is South Carolina's premier string shop. All things violin, cello, and stand-up bass. Rentals, repairs, restorations, sales, and more. Shop their showroom for their expansive selection of violins, cellos, and bass. Whether you're looking for your first instrument or looking for a standout piece for your collection. Palmetto Strings is your all-in-one shop. With over 30 years experience in the industry, Palmetto Strings. Stop by at 731 Elmwood Avenue in Columbia or check them out online at palmettostringsSC.com.
Breathe easier this holiday season with Zera's Air Duct Cleaning. Mention me, Bill Gunner, at 1075 The Game, and you'll get $50 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR50 when scheduling online at ZerasColumbia.com.
Hit us up on the Firehouse Subs text line, 803-404-6100. Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 107.5 The Game. Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic
is sponsored by Wetzel's Automotive in West Columbia. Wetzel'sAuto.com.
And things definitely have picked up on the highways this morning. Percival Road at I-77, an accident there. In Lexington, Old Cherokee at Old Chapin Road. Monticello Road at Main Street. Also, I-26 eastbound at exit 111. Also at exit 110 and exit 97. So Coming the other direction, 97, 110, and 111 on I-26 eastbound, all causing problems. Hardin Street at Taylor, an accident there, and Farrow Road near Beckman Drive. So do be careful. Allow a little extra time this morning. Sunny and 64 today. Overnight low 39. 57 for your high tomorrow, but a little bit cooler and breezy. And that overnight low of a chilly 30. Right now, though, the sun is out. 45 on the early game.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
On your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 107.5 The Game.
Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
This is garbage. Pisses me off. And here it comes from a site called Bro Bible by a guy named Sliced Bread. So it's written on the internet as gospel. When I first heard it, I laughed. I said, "Oh yeah, what a clown!" I mean, somebody off Sliced Bread, a guy named Slice who made it up. Love to see who Sliced Bread is and put it out there with Sliced Bread. Let me find out where it comes from.
Oh, Jimbo.
What?
We thought we was gonna be. Yeah, in isolation, this is very, very much very strange. We have no idea what's going on, but that was Jimbo Fisher. Do you remember what this was in reference to? Do you remember any of this whole conversation?
Not really.
Okay, so this was in the conversation. This was maybe 2 summers ago when Jimbo and Nick Saban had their beef, and Saban was calling out Jimbo and Texas A&M for essentially buying players, and then Jimbo went back and forth, and he had called it an emergency press conference where he said, that guy thinks he's number one. He's not the GOAT. I could tell you who's the GOAT is. And he talked about some of the things that he knew about Saban that he wasn't going to say. Do we not remember this? This was a major college football plot point in our ever-going soap opera. Well, just like any other soap opera, our guy Sliced Bread has returned in name only. So this leads us to this conversation. So, and this has everything that we think is either absolutely ridiculous about college football or anything that we love. We have a 5-star recruit, putting up a social media post, which is pretty vague. But Evan Stewart from Texas A&M posted on his social media post. By the way, Evan Stewart, 5-star recruit, 38 receptions, 514 yards, very good player.
In the portal.
In the portal, absolutely. But his statement on social media, IG was his particular social media brand of choice. He said, "I saw it coming my freshman year when I didn't get paid $1 from A&M. But Sliced Bread had y'all thinking we was all millionaires." And so he posted it up there, and it was in reference to some of the conversations that were being had. So Evan Stewart, his contention, which I don't think this conversation is being had often, his contention was that the website from Bro Bible, a poster named Sliced Bread, was talking about how much money Texas A&M had to give out in NIL. Evan Stewart is saying that he did not receive any of this money from Texas A&M his freshman year. Now he's in the portal. And so the conversation comes back to, we are making a lot of assumptions about what these athletes are receiving because it's said that they received it, but there's several complaints from athletes around the country saying that they have not received monies that they were promised during the contracts.
Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, look, it's something that quite honestly that I don't think fans realize is happening more than it's actually happening.
Right.
Like you just assume, oh my goodness, this guy's getting this amount of money. Well, I don't know what the action is when you don't receive
Exactly.
the money.
I mean, if it's a contract, but they don't know what to do, and they don't probably have the funds to go and sue somebody, So they're kind of hosed.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation because a lot of times it turns into big bank take little bank, whereas like you said, the players may not have the means or know how to get legal representation.
But will the NIL company, like the Carolina Rises of the world and stuff, is that part of their job to ensure the payment happens, or is this something different?
That's why it's all tricky.
Okay.
Hopefully you're dealing on the up and up, and everything I've heard around here is that these are on the up and ups when you're dealing with some of these organizations, but everybody's not.
I gotcha.
And there's really no recourse for a lot of these athletes when they maybe have signed something and they have not received the money. A contract is only as good as your lawyers can prove, right? So these situations have been sort of playing out. Now, Evan Stewart is contending that he's in the portal. Obviously, we don't know exactly why, but he's saying that from his freshman year, he was not compensated. And that's a really interesting conversation.
I want to break early, and I want to come back. A report has popped up here this hour on a pretty big name in the transfer portal who hasn't really thrown a pass, but is connected to South Carolina. I want to throw this at you, and I want your opinion because later on this morning, Lenora Sellers is going to be on the Garnet Trust Hour. And I want to throw this name at you, and I want your opinion as a player because this is part of the transfer portal now. This is part of the transfer portal. I'm going to give you this report when we come back. I want your take on it, and I want your opinion on how a player would view this. And then I don't know if they'll ask Lenora necessarily about this particular player, but about any player that South Carolina may go after. It's a quarterback in the transfer portal because there's some pieces to this I want to get into. So there's a report out there, Steve Whitfong of 24/7 Sports. I'll read this when we come back, and we'll kind of look into it because you mentioned Evan Stewart. He's in the portal. We'll get into a little bit of this when we come back. Hang around for a few minutes. There's a name you might want to hear about being tied to South Carolina.
Not sliced bread.
It is not sliced bread, nor Evan Stewart.
Not even toasted bread.
No, or buttered bread for that matter.
Maybe that might be your portal. Maybe you've left sliced bread.
Well, or
maybe
just, or you've gone from maybe you've gone from just regular white bread, or you've gone from wheat bread to white bread.
Mm-hmm.
You see where we've.
I want to go to Pumpernickel just to say it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. 803-404-6100. It's the early game.
Be listening to the game for your chance to win a family 4-pack to go see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra at Colonial Life Arena Friday, December 8th. You can purchase tickets by going to livenation.com.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. Derek Carr, who's in concussion protocol once again, has not provided the energy and big play capability the Saints thought they were getting. The 32-year-old four-time Pro Bowl quarterback seemed to have turned the corner last month. However, he's fallen back into the abyss where he doesn't finish games with touchdowns. I'm Boomer Esiason.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Must be 21 plus in President State where lawful to wager. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. First online real money wager only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700. Visit KSGamblingHelp.com in Kansas, 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Help is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
Every lottery ticket purchase keeps education in our state moving forward. In fact, the lottery has raised more than $200 million for state school buses to get our students to school safely every day. Then, the lottery helps those students go even further in their education by funding the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. So remember, when you play the lottery, you're keeping South Carolina students on the road to success. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Save the date.
great. Join Canty Foundation specialists and the United Way of Kershaw County on February 24th in Camden for the Caring Hearts benefit. There will be live music by the Mike Veal Band and Camden's own Megan Davis. Dance the night away, enjoy an open bar, and savor food catered by Lilfred's. Canty Foundation specialists and the UWKC are coming together to raise funds for New Day Transitional Housing, helping families get a fresh start and a second chance. Tickets are available at Eventbrite under Caring Hearts benefit or uwkc.net. Let's make a difference together.
You can do it all by yourself, baby girl. What's your name? Let me talk to you. Let me buy you a drink.
Spilled your drink? Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to your night. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen.
Your home of the Gamecocks in Columbia, 107.5 The Game. Also heard on 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach and 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Wrapping it up here on your Tuesday morning. Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. Reminder, go to your smartphone app, whatever your app or your app store may be. Download 107.5 The Game's app. That way you can take us anywhere you go. If you're traveling for the holidays, we will not miss a thing. You can take us and listen if you're outside of the listening area. Of course, you can always go to 1075thegame.com if you're at your office and stream as well. But if you download the app, you can lock on and listen to us there. As always, you can go to our YouTube channel as well. Go to YouTube, go to 1075 The Game, download that, or subscribe, be a part. Chuck, RL, Ian, Chandler, all in there right now, along with several other people talking, and you can go and be a part of that. 803-404-6100. Coming up later this morning, Garnet Trust Hour, Lenora Sellers will join the guys, and obviously a lot of excitement about him, but he's not proven. All this, Brad Crawford's tweet yesterday, all this is speculation, Preston Thorne, on how good Lenora Sellers will be. And I know our buddy Steve and Blythewood has pointed out several times, just let him play. Find out first. Don't hype him up, and then he crashes to earth and ends up, we've overhyped somebody. It happens. That's part of the internet now. It's part of recruiting. We hype people up. So the question becomes, what does South Carolina do to not only build depth in the transfer portal at the quarterback position, but also to create competition, right? Steve Whitfong, 24/7 Sports, has an article out starting at about 8 o'clock this morning. It tells me it's in the last 42 minutes. Georgia transfer Brock Vandegrift, likely staying in the SEC, decision expected soon. According to Greg Vandegrift, the father, he says there's South Carolina, Mississippi State, and Kentucky. Those are the 3 schools. This is, again, on 24/7 Sports right now. Steve Whitfong, lead recruiting analyst, has said that per Brock Vandegrift's father, Greg, there is South Carolina, Mississippi State, and he mentioned specifically Jeff Lebby, and then he also mentions Kentucky. A quick trip down memory lane and some research has led me to learn, well, and I knew this part, Brock Vandegrift was committed to Oklahoma at one time.
Okay.
Whom, Preston Thorne, was his primary lead recruiter?
Well, this is a tricky question.
Primary recruiter. This is per 24/7 Sports.
I'm trying to put together the timelines. Obviously, we know Shane Beamer was out in the Oklahoma at the time.
That will be your answer.
Ooh, okay. Yes.
Per 24/7 Sports, Shane Beamer. Now, obviously, he is listed as the recruiter of record here. The draw to Lincoln Riley and the offense certainly maybe made it easy for any recruiter out there. Shane Beamer was the lead recruiter and at one time had secured the commitment of Brock Vandagriff to Oklahoma.
Ooh.
This is per the article, 24/7 Sports out there. Again, Greg Vandagriff has had, this is the quote. He says the Wildcat, it does go on to say right now, according to this, Kentucky is likely in the best position to land him. There is a crystal ball out there for Kentucky to land Brock Vandagriff, the transfer. But South Carolina's making their move here. I would assume led by former lead recruiter at Oklahoma and now current head football coach at the University of South Carolina.
Why would Kentucky be a better option than?
So now that's an interesting question.
Well, again, look, why am I blanking on the quarterback? Devin Leary. Devin Leary, number one, didn't scare anybody this year. And I don't know if he's got eligibility left or not. But quite frankly, if you're Brock Vandagriff, if you're looking at him, like, you could definitely beat him out. Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator, has an NFL background.
Will Levis.
Yeah, he's shown him. I mean, look, I can get it. And quite frankly, if I'm Mark Stoops, my selling point is, hey, we have a good team. We're a quarterback away. I mean, if he wanted to, yes, say what you want about Mark Stoops. If he wanted to say, like, hey, with a quarterback, we beat South Carolina, we beat Tennessee, we win a few other games, he can make that case. Now, whether you want to buy into it as a recruit or not, I don't know. But also, you can point to what Dow Loggins did with a quarterback very similar to Brock Vandagriff in Spencer Rattler.
Similar situations, absolutely.
And I'm just throwing it out there. Again, at least at this moment, it looks like Kentucky would be in the lead, but this is per Vandagriff's father, and he does say it's real with the Wildcats and them being in contention of the interest. But he goes and he says there's South Carolina, Mississippi State. He says Jeff Lebby is intriguing. It would be hard to go outside of the SEC just because it's the best conference. It also forces you to play the best. It's not like you're going up against the 60th, 70th ranked defense in the country every week. You're going against top 25. Vandagriff, the elder Vandagriff, says if it's not done this weekend, it will be done next weekend. He will probably commit and then go visit.
Commit, then visit.
Yeah.
Another interesting move.
And I'm always curious why dads are talking.
That's been my whole thing. I was thinking this.
His father is a high school coach. If anybody is, like, I would say if you've got a father who's a high school coach, that might be the best way to do it. Vandagriff says Brock looks at this thing more. I have a job to do now. Out of high school, you're caught up in where am I going to get my degree? I see myself as whatever. Now, this is about what's the best opportunity where I can go play right now. He has to go play. I understand this, and this is why I ask you. It says he has to go play. That's the priority. It's about fit, but it's playing.
But he's not. So again, he's not
coming to sit the bench.
He's not coming to compete. He's
Right.
not coming to an open competition. He's coming to play. So in those conversations, I would say this again. If South Carolina is an option, or apparently to the elder Vandagriff, if South Carolina is the option, they have not been an option because they didn't say, hey, you can come here and play. That's what they have told him.
Right.
They didn't say, hey, come and compete. You know, we got this young guy coming around. You might have to compete with him. No, they've said we need a quarterback.
And you've got Lenora Sellers, who will be a redshirt freshman. And again, we hype him up. We talk about how great he is. He's yet to prove it. There's been some incredible plays.
Which, by the way,
two
I'm
incredible
not saying
plays.
the only way we got him, but he was under-recruited
Right.
very heavily. We got a steal in getting him flipping him from Syracuse. I'm not sure if he was recruited as well as he actually plays, if we may or may not be in the conversation for him initially.
803-404-6100. We'll get more into that tomorrow.
I think that's an interesting conversation.
We'll get more into that tomorrow. I'll look at it after we hear some from Lenora Sellers. I will be kind of interested to hear, if you're a quarterback in particular, how do you view the trade? It's one thing if you're an offensive lineman, defensive line. You mentioned there's snaps, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, defensive backs. You get the point. There's snaps out there for everybody. Not so sure that's the quarterback's a totally different case. And if you hear of your coach or your team, MJ Morris basically said, the quarterback for North Carolina State, Preston, basically said, I think yesterday or over the weekend, what soured his relationship with NC State is he thought he was going to be the guy this year, and they went and got a quarterback, Brandon Armstrong, out of the portal. And that's why he decided, hey, I'll play for you, but I'm going to preserve my red shirt because I don't think y'all believe in me.
Yeah, we have I have the audio from that. We might can come back tomorrow because I do think that is another interesting conversation.
803-404-6100. You can weigh in on that. Let's see if I can find one more very quickly here. Oh, Jeff transferred from TaylorMade irons to Cleveland Graphite shafts.
Okay.
Because he's getting older. And then this anonymous texter transferred from gas-powered Toyota to an electric Tesla.
Okay.
There
Tessie.
there you go.
Tessie.
Y'all have a great day.
See y'all.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy.
All right. Y'all have a great day. Good seeing you. Y'all take care. He's out as well. We're off. Y'all take care.